Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Volume check. Welcome one, welcome all to Tasker Arena. Tonight's fair is going to be the Hobbs Lady Eagles versus the Montwood Lady Rams, followed by the Hobbs Eagles and the Rams of Montwood right afterwards. First game will be live streaming here on YouTube, with the second one simulcast on the Cool 95.7. The JV game is still going on. 2:34 left here in the fourth. Hobbs leading 56-37. When that game concludes, we'll have about a 20-minute warm-up, and then it'll be on to Lady Eagles basketball. We'll all be back in about 20 minutes, ready to have a great season here and ready to have you join us. Thanks for watching on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.com. Once again, everybody, thank you for joining us at Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Lady Eagles and the Montwood Lady Rams going to tie it up, followed by the Hobbs Eagles and the Montwood Rams right after that. The JV game is still going on. It's 56-39. Hobbs leads here in the fourth. And when this game concludes in about 2 minutes, the girls will take about a 20-minute warm-up, and then you can join us live on YouTube.com for that broadcast, followed by the boys right after. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back, everybody. The game for the JV game for Montwood Rams and the Hobbs Eagles has been completed with the Eagles winning. We're now 20 minutes away from the opening tip for the Lady Eagles. Stick with us. We'll be back in about 15 for the pregame show. It'll be great to have you for another great season of Lady Eagles basketball. Welcome one, welcome all to Tasker Arena, where the Hobbs Lady Eagles and the Montwood Lady Rams are getting ready to lock horns in the first game for the Lady Eagles. With me, as always, is my right-hand man, Ty Friend, and it's going to be an interesting game. They've already played 8 games, Montwood has. We know what they are. They're 2-6. But we're coming in, hadn't played a game, just coming off of volleyball. It's going to be interesting to see how we react early.
Yeah, I've never understood that, Coach, and you have some time in Texas, too. It seems like, a lot of these Texas schools go deep into football playoffs. They got those regionals, bi-regionals, all that stuff in volleyball, too, but then they still get a couple weeks head start on us on basketball. Every single year, we're 3, 4, 5, 6 games behind the 8 ball, whether it be boys or girls basketball.
Yeah, that to me is not a huge advantage in most cases. It's one of those things where you get an advantage if you're a good team. But in this case, the Montwood Lady Rams are coming in. They're struggling. They've got 8 games under their belt, and they're having issues with turnovers. And as you know, the Hobbs Lady Eagles like to press. I can't see that going well for them if they're having issues handling the ball.
Yeah, there was one game where they had 31 turnovers this season, and that definitely has a major problem for them. They have to get taking care of the basketball. They're getting the ball stolen quite a bit with the passing game, too, so definitely is going to have to be something to look at. I know the big trouble for the Hobbs Lady Eagles preseason coach was actually getting games scheduled. Coach Carpenter ripping his hair out. He can't get the Lee County rival Lovington to play him. He's going on to these tournaments. Dallas, he's got 3 games there. He's going to the Capital Tournament in Santa Fe. The Hobbs Holiday Tournament. That's 9 games just to fill the schedule up. Teams just won't play a champion. They were second place last year, but that half-court shot at the buzzer by Volcano Vista put the nail in the coffin, though, unfortunately.
And there's a reason that this is happening. We're good.
Understatement.
It's a good problem to have. And he's going to find those games, but he's going to find those games against other teams that are in the same situation. And in the end, that's only going to make us better. Going to Dallas, you're going to see some of the best teams in the nation. That's one of the top tournaments in the nation, and it's going to be nice to be New Mexico's representative in that tournament.
Yeah, and actually Hobbs was invited to that tournament. It wasn't something you just signed up for. Hey, fill this slot. I mean, they were actually given the opportunity to play in that. You should also know, too, that the Lady Eagles looking for another state championship, and they always got youngsters on the squad. 9th graders, freshmen. Last year they had 8th graders. Some of those girls are starting tonight in this game. I mean, how would you like to have that? It's like a gold treasure every year, just kind of moving people up. He's got 2 freshmen that are 6 feet tall on the roster.
There's some people that have to retool and they have to go find people. We just reload, and that is a beautiful thing to have this program. You got 8th grade programs this year that are solid. You've got the Zias coming up right behind that, and they've won national tournaments. We are just absolutely loaded for probably the next 6 or 7 years, if not beyond that, to the 8 or 9, 10. This could be something if Carpenter chooses to stay here in Hobbs, where he might put up kind of numbers that Tasker had, where he gets a bunch of state championships.
And he's got so many girls that are coming back from last year. Wisdom Anthony averaged 16.5 points a ball game. Currently on some top 20 lists, including the career scoring, 1,049 points for her. Number 7 on the career scoring list. 41 points out of 6th place with Ashley Jackson from the past. So she's going to be moving up the scale pretty quickly. Of course, Adrian Ross, number 2 on that list with a 1,823. She's here tonight as well. It's her birthday. You just had a chance to talk to her a minute ago. So she's starting to move up there a little bit. Wisdom also, career 3-pointers is on the list. Number 2 currently with 117. Just 12 3-pointers behind Selena Flores, the number 1 on the list for the Lady Eagles program of the past. So that's easily going to be broken by the end of the year. But, the career scoring, Melissa Forrest, Adrian Ross, some pretty big people to be on the list with.
Absolutely. If I want to gauge Wisdom Anthony and what she brings to the hardwood, I'm going to gauge her off of probably the best player she played last year, the girl from Sandia, Van. She's up and playing for UNM this year, starting games for UNM as a freshman. And Wisdom Anthony outdueled her in that game by about 4 or 5 points. That tells you what we've got. We certainly have a nice present right there that's going to unwrap a whole bunch of points this season for us.
And there's more than one gift under the tree. I mean, you mentioned that one there, but of course you got Anaya Joseph. She is back again, sophomore, so only a sophomore this year. 10.3 points a ball game. She also leads the team rebounding last year, 10.2 a game, 19 blocks, and definitely one of the best in the team. 28 steals as a big girl too. That's a very important stat. And the fact that she does not have Elise Turbiates as one of her bookends, that's going to give her more opportunity to score, I think, although you love having Elise with those 15.5 points a game, too.
Absolutely. She wasn't the first or the second option in that offense, and she still put up all those points. Something that really, really stuck out to me today is, you think you kind of gauge how tall people by what you see in the game and what you see play. I did not realize she was 5'9". I always thought that she was 6 foot from the get-go, and all of a sudden I looked down and realized she's 3 inches shorter. That means she's playing big.
Well, I mentioned we have a couple 6-footers on the roster, just freshmen. Jayla David, a transfer coming into the district, family in the oil business. She's here now. She's a 9th grader. Also, you've got another 6-footer, too, on the roster, Kendall Cunningham, a freshman as well. So probably not a lot of playing time, maybe possibly in the early part of the year. But, again, you got some more post looks, too.
And from what I understand, Cunningham is the real deal as a freshman. I heard that last year she would have been on varsity as an 8th grader, but she transferred in, and they would not allow her to play varsity. The other school would not release her. So she was forced to play 8th grade, and I think she averaged like 30 points a game as an 8th grader. So I expect contributions from Cunningham this year.
Guess what, Coach? There's a senior on the roster, Erilyn Hall. She'll start tonight. Only played 10 games last year out of 13. 5.8 points a game. Wasn't the top scorer on the team, but was the best three-point shooter at 29%. So she definitely is a girl that can shoot outside. Doesn't drive to the hole very much, but she's going to try to crank off a few.
I think what you're missing in that statement right there is her on-the-ball defense. Hall brings tense on-the-ball defense. She really kind of reigns up there in that zone that we run along the three-point line. Her hustle, it prevents a lot of shots from being uncontested, and she gets there and makes sure that she is a force to be reckoned with on defense.
Before I give up my breath here, Bryn Hargrove, she'll start. She's a freshman, 4.5 points a game. Hit that big three-pointer to tie it in close to overtime there last year.
Absolutely. The national anthem has started. We'll throw it right there to them. Welcome back as the Taskovich Band has completed the national anthem and playing the school song. It is nice to have a full crowd here. I mean, you're looking at probably 75% capacity already just for the girls' game with the boys immediately to follow. This is going to be a pretty good venue tonight for some basketball.
Yeah, it should be. Hobbs Lady Eagles, of course, want to get back to that state championship like they were in last year, and what a heartbreaker in that one. Losing to Volcano Vista in the championship, 52-49 in overtime. Of course, we mentioned right before the break on the national anthem, Bryn Hargrove hit the three-point banker with 3.5 seconds left in that first overtime just to keep it in the books. And then all of a sudden, that half-court shot tanked off by Natalia Chavez. She scored 21 points in that game. That was her 5th three-pointer. Eagles actually backed off of her because Coach Carper knew they had fouls on the board already. That would have been free throw opportunities. 3, that would have won the game maybe anyway. Yeah. But big decisions to be made on those type of plays, and who's going to make a half court. I made it on ESPN on that game.
It did. I mean, if you're going to get beat by a shot that makes it on ESPN, it is what it is. You just got to take your licks and move on and come back and make sure you get the revenge the next year.
I think the keys in this game for the Lady Eagles, Alexa Munoz, the top scorer for El Paso Montwood. She's averaging close to 9 points a game, about 4.5 rebounds a contest. She's been sprinkled as the top scorer throughout about half the game so far. Lauren Valera also has 6.8 points a contest, about 4 rebounds, and leads the team in assists up to close to 3 a ball game. and also a very good defensive player, too. Alyssa Rodriguez averaging 6.4 a game, almost 4 steals a contest. Hobbs better be watching out for her. And Kayla Green, 5 rebounds a game for her as one of the post players. So they got some scrappy players. And as you mentioned, they played a lot of tournaments, and you know that being from El Paso. I mean, there's tournaments, about 50 of them before the district schedule gets going.
Absolutely. They looks like they've had like a pretty rough going, and seeing some of the teams that they played, I think the closest one that they played on their list, talent-wise to us, may have been Wolf for Friendship, and they lost that game 71-23. They also lost to a 1A school, Sudan, which is over by Millshoe, up there in the Panhandle, and by Lasbuddy. They lost that one 50-34 to a 1A Texas school that has not been the most solid program as of late.
Kind of a long road trip for them, going from El Paso close to Lubbock, and that was just this past week, as you mentioned, those 2 games, so that's kind of a tough one for them. If you look at their wins, Sleda, of course, one of the smaller schools they played, beat them by 4. Big Canada 2, another smaller school, 43-37. So those are not the toughest wins you could ever look for, but they played teams like El Paso, Parkland, lost by only 2. El Paso Chapin, 45-20, a blowout loss there, and Valley lost to Mountain View, 38-37. And one of those games, turnovers was the big difference. One game, 31 turnovers. But they usually lose the turnover battle, the games that they've lost. And as you mentioned earlier, it's a bloodbath when you start giving balls up to Hobbs. They like to go in the transition quick.
And that is what we look to do with that full court press, 3/4 court press, half court press. We fall back into a trap at half court. We rotate through it all. Their guards are going to have to make a lot of decisions tonight. And I think that'll probably be whether this is a close game or not, it's going to fall on the guards from Montwood if they can handle that pressure from the Lady Eagles.
Lady Eagles outscored their opponents on the average 63-30 last year, so more than doubling up on them, 815 points to 388. And of course, Hobbs only getting to play 13 games last year. That's about 12 or so less than normal because of COVID. But still, you can imagine we talk about Wisdom Anthony. She continues to move up the chart. Number 7 on the career scoring list, number 2 on 3-pointers. That girl's getting those numbers with the shortened season last year. And she's definitely going to be somebody that everybody's going to be looking at this season as Player of the Year. She's got some great help there, as we mentioned earlier, with all the other ones that come back on this team. But really excited to see how they're going to start out in this game at Tasker Arena.
You know, somebody you didn't really get into a deeply was Brett Clay.
Starter.
Yeah, she's a starter, 5'8" freshman, and she was a defensive spark plug last year. Even started a couple of games for the Lady Eagles. I think that is one of those catalyst players, you know. Yeah, you have Anthony that can score. You have Joseph that's going to pound the ground. But somebody like Clay, you know, she makes play after play after play. She's kind of your Draymond Green kind of player, your Dennis Rodman, you know, somebody who's going to go in there and give you a high energy level.
And to add on to that, I'm glad you brought her up because I forgot to bring this up about her. She was the best free throw shooter of returners coming back this year, 64%. That was a juggernaut for Hobbs. If you look at one stat that was not too pretty, it was free throws, as the Lady Eagles really having some issues converting on those. But hopefully with her leadership in the free throw category, she'll help the team get back on top and try to get back to that championship as usual.
Both teams on the floor getting ready for the opening jump here as the 2021-22 Lady Eagles season is now underway. Tip goes to Cunningham, who's starting. The freshman comes up with the left hand, and she's got her first points as a Lady Eagle varsity player. She's got 2 on the night. It's 2-0 Lady Eagles.
Yeah, early racehorse on the way there for the score.
Montwood has it stolen away quickly. Backdoor pass. Left-handed layup by Bryn Hargrove, and it's quickly 4-0 Lady Eagles. Montwood having trouble getting the ball in. Brings it back to the guard. This is Alexa Munoz. Munoz being checked by Hargrove. Works with the right hand across the timeline. Munoz, top of the key, it goes to Green. Kayla Green in trouble, tied up by Cunningham, and that's going to be a foul on the play. And I believe that's going to go against Cunningham, her first.
Yeah, pretty aggressive defense. Split the difference between the 2 offensive players. Got a piece of the basketball. I guess her hand rolled up for the arm, and they got the foul on that one.
Inbound by Munoz. Quickly finds Lauren Valtieta with the left hand. She's going to go through the middle of the lane. Cunningham's waiting for her, but it's going to be stolen away, and it's going to be ahead to Anthony. Anthony's going to lose it on the dribble, has to save it. Cunningham's going to run it down at the free throw line, but they're going to call her out of bounds.
You can already tell. I mean, Hobbs already looking for the press or the fast break on those plays. A minute they get a rebound, it's off to the races.
Here's the inbound. It's going to be knocked away on the floor. Joseph got her paws on it. Ball's still loose. Montwood comes across the timeline with the left hand. Here's Munoz. Barks out some signals. She's going to drive. Kicks it out. Top of the key to Rodriguez. Rodriguez works it in. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. It looks like we have some jersey change numbers here, as it looks like Clay is wearing 14 instead of 24, instead of 34 tonight. Yeah, that is Clay. Here's Munoz, drives with the left hand. Going to kick it out, top of the key. Rodriguez fires off the iron, controlled by Joseph. Joseph kicks it out far side to Hargrove. Hargrove picks up her dribble across the timeline. Hands to Anthony, right side Clay. Clay works it into Cunningham. Cunningham, the 6-footer with the left hand. She's going to back her in. She turns, looks, it's not there. Goes the top over to Clay. Clay with the left hand spins it around. Hargrove into the corner. Anthony wants three. Anthony right hands it up. Rebound by Clay. Clay looking for Cunningham, bounces it in. Cunningham gets it in the post. She's going to be fouled, and that'll be the first foul against the Lady Rams.
You know, Lady Eagles like to do getting that ball down low to their big girls, and Joseph likes to move the paint, and she's kind of by herself in terms of size right now, but really, I mean, she likes to see that aggressiveness out there and really making up for the loss of her teammate Turbiatis to graduation.
Here's Clay. She gets the inbound. She's going to drive with the right hand. She fires. It goes in, and she's fouled.
How about that left hand, Coach, coming down the paint, kind of just pushed it forward, a little touch, pushed with the fingertips, and able to get it to drop off the rim through the net.
I love that veer move where she comes in, initiates contact, steps away from it, and creates herself some space. Here's Clay's free throw. Right hands it up, in and out. Ball's loose on the floor. Munoz has it. She's in trouble. She kicks it out. It's on the floor. The Rams are off and running. Lady Eagles get back on defense. Going to be Valtierra, and she's going to get called for a carry there as she made an illegal move with the ball.
Already 2 turnovers for the Rams, and that's unforced errors, and you're just like blood in the water when you let that happen. Hobbs likes to steal from you, but if you give him gifts like that, Hobbs usually make you pay for it.
6-0 here early. Right side, it goes all the way to the far corner. Here comes Anthony. Anthony picks up the dribble, looks for Hargrove. She's going to drive. Floater with the right hand. Hargrove's got it. Hargrove has 4 here early. Montwood looking to inbounds. Backdoor pass. It's going to come into Valtierra. She comes up the court with the left hand. She's being checked by Anthony. Top of the key, Munoz to Green. Comes to Valtierra. Rodriguez spins it over to Green. Green top of the key. Right-handed dribble. She's going to spin around. She's in trouble. She finds Munoz. Munoz, she's going to go with the right hand, and she's going to be fouled from behind. That's going to go against Joseph, her first.
Joseph, got her on her back that time and tried to reach over the top and flip the ball out of her hands as she backed into the hoop and made the price on that one. And that'll be the first on Joseph and the first team foul against a second team foul against the Lady Eagles.
8-0 here, 5:18 here in the first. First free throw from Munoz. Right hands it in and out.
Rams trying to get on the scoreboard. Of course, coming from El Paso, already 8 games under their belt, wearing the green uniforms and white numbers, and Hobbs the home whites. And those ugly white numbers, that's going to be illegal, by the way. They have to have a color that's different from the jersey there. It's kind of hard to read from the back.
Cunningham with the rebound on the second miss. Ahead to Hargrove. Hargrove to Clay. Clay has it ripped away by Valtierra. Valtierra with the right hand. It's run down behind by Clay. Hargrove ties it up into Joseph's hands. Joseph hands it to Clay. Clay ahead to Anthony. Anthony looking. Does she want it? No. Now she jiggers. She comes over to the right hand. Fires it. Got it.
What a beautiful follow through that time by Wisdom Anthony. Complete hand looked like it was going through the basket, through the air, and nice little push into the net.
Beautiful little move there. Timeout on the floor. It's 10-0 Lady Eagles. We'll be back after this moment. You're listening to Lady Eagles Basketball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.com. Welcome back. 4:54 on the clock. Lady Eagles up 10-0. Ty, I mean, this is already getting away from us, and we're only a few minutes into the game.
Yeah, and a full court 2-2-1 trap going on here for the Lady Eagles to make sure that the Rams really have to extend those passes to get around it.
Across the timeline with the left hand, here comes Munoz. Switches over to the right, being checked by Hargrove. Gets around Hargrove, kicks into the corner, looking for Valtierra. It's not there. Check that. That was Rodriguez. Stolen away by Anthony. Anthony on the break. Hands to Clay. Clay back out to Anthony. Sidesteps. Floats over to the right side. Here's Clay. Goes into Cunningham. She's going to back it in. Back out to Clay. Clay spins it to Anthony. Anthony top of the key, setting it up. Anthony with the left hand. She crosses over. It's going to be stolen away. Montwood's off and running. Here comes Munoz. Munoz stolen by Anthony. Good hustle by Anthony to get it back.
Already a 5-3 turnover count in favor of the Lady Eagles.
Shot, top of the key, no good. Joseph with the rebound. She goes back up with it, and Joseph has her first points of the season. It's 12-0 Lady Eagles here.
Also up in terms of rebounding, 4-1 so far, thanks to Joseph with her 2 boards.
Across the timeline, here comes Green. She hands it to Valtierra. Valtierra, crossover dribbles, middle of the lane, has it knocked away, but they're going to get Joseph with a kick.
Yeah, she threw her knee right at the basketball that time. Referee waited just a second. I was going to say he was going to let that go, but no, she used her leg as a weapon that time defensively for the 6-man.
And Cunningham sits down into the game for the first time is Jayla David, the 6-foot freshman.
Yeah, 6 foot and nice tree to add in that paint as if they need another one.
Inbound's going to be knocked away. Rams ball underneath the basket.
Yeah, you have a lot of riches in this program. We have so many big post players at 6 foot. I mean, you can interchange them in and out. I mean, they don't all have the experience that some of the varsity players have had in the last couple years, but definitely adding a dimension.
Luckily, they're going to get a full season under their belt. Top of the key, Rams are going to work against the defense. Switching off against the zone is Hargrove checking Munoz. Top of the key, it goes to Green. Green, stutter step, drives, throws it off the iron with the right hand. No good, gets her own rebound. Going to be knocked out of bounds by, it looks like Jayla David. It's going to be a Rams basketball.
Rams are getting a few rebounds underneath, but they're not getting a chance really to put them up that quickly, and Hobbs really contesting the minute they come down with those.
Rams inbounding underneath the basket. It's going to go into Green. She's going to kick it out. Long jumper is going to be swatted away by Joseph. She's going to catch this on the run. Joseph with the left hand has got it. Coast to coast, Anaya Joseph.
That's her second block of the game. She'd had her own transition contest going on there. Took it herself all the way.
Going to be knocked away. Joseph with another steal. Going to hand to Anthony. They're off to the races. They have numbers on the Rams. Left side Hargrove. Hargrove looks. Going to kick it out to Clay. Clay's going to drive with the left hand. Crossover. Spin in the lane. We're going to have a foul on the Rams here. That'll stop play.
Coach, he also went through her legs on that one. Unbelievable WNBA style there for Clay. I mean, she's really upped her game in terms of ball handling over the summer.
Oh, she has, and much more aggressive on the attack than she was last year. 14-0 your score here. 2:58 on the clock, first quarter.
That was the first on Valtierra's second team foul.
Shot from the corner. It's going to be missed. I believe that's Carolina Saez. I'll have to check your roster because the one I have is inaccurate. It's going to be rebounded by the Rams.
Yeah, that is Saez, number 24.
Going to be flipped over. Lost by Valtierra. Check that, Rodriguez. It's going to be head, and it's going to be thrown to, I believe, Mojica. Nakia Mojica, and she's going to lay it in for 2.
Yeah, Mojica, one that played last year. She is a senior, so one of 2 on the roster at this point, getting some playing time here.
Rams gets the ball across half court. It's 16-0 Lady Eagles. Right side, Rams give it to Mia Robles. Robles with the right hand. Floater, long 3 off the glass. Ball's loose. Rams run it down. Rodriguez hands to Green. Stutter step. Throws it up with the right hand. They're forcing it now. Mojica's going to run it down and save it. And they're going to call it out of bounds on Mojica. She stepped on the line.
That's what you see from Coach Carpenter's teams over the years, aggressiveness. You miss a shot, you go after it, you challenge somebody for it, you just don't let it go out of bounds. And that time you saw a perfect example of Mojica chasing it down.
Rodriguez working against the attacking zone. Right side Robles, going to go over to Munoz. Munoz being checked by Mojica. Bounce pass, going to be knocked away by Joseph. Off and running, it's ahead to Mojica. Mojica bounce pass to Saez with the right hand, misses. Joseph gets the rebound, but she's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Joseph got away with a kicked ball at the other end, really booted it hard as well, and then she gets down to the other end offensively and goes up strong too. This girl won't quit either end. I mean, she was one of the leaders in steals last year with 28 as a post player.
And that's the 4th foul against the Rams here. First personal against Kayla Green. The Rams kind of getting in foul trouble early here in the first quarter.
Yet to score, 2 down, 16-0 with 1:46 left.
Here's the inbounds. Anthony looking. She's got Mojica. Mojica's going to float with the right hand. Joseph gets the rebound. Joseph goes back up. She has 6.
Looked like Mojica got tripped a little bit coming down that left baseline, but 4 rebounds for Joseph. That's why she's getting those nice glass shots to put them back in.
18-0 across the timeline. Right side, it goes to Gretel Jordan. Jordan hands it to Munoz. Munoz flips it over. Long shot from Green off the iron. Rebounded by the Lady Eagles. Off and running. Here's Anthony. Anthony taking it up the court herself. She's going to sidestep. Left-hand floater. No good off the glass on the floor. And they're going to get a jump ball as they tie up the Lady Rams when they fell down with the ball.
Yeah, Joseph went over the top that time to try to rip away from Mia Robles. And Robles flat on her back. Joseph looking down at her and say, "That's my basketball." And unfortunately, the arrow beat her to it.
Erin Hall checks into the game, as does Kendall Cunningham.
Mentioned Hall averaging 5.8 points a game last year, 4th highest score on the team, and 29% three-point shooting to lead the squad.
Here's Munoz. She flies up the court with the right hand. Switches over to the left, drives, hands it over to Green. Green back to Munoz. Right side, it goes to Robles. Into the corner to Munoz. Munoz puts him on the board with a long three-pointer there. It is now 18-3.
Clock 48 seconds left, 15-point lead for the Lady Eagles.
Quickly in underneath, right-handed by David on the floor, and they're going to tie this thing up. Actually, that was Jayla David. And that'll be a jump ball, and I think this one goes to the Rams.
Remember Jayla David, another one of those freshmen out on the court. I can see the freshman coaches saying, "Please don't take any more of our star players. We need somebody on this court too."
And here's inbound. Mojica looking for Cunningham. It's going to be knocked away. This one's going to go to the Rams.
Turnover count so far, 8 for El Paso Montwood, just 4 for the Lady Eagles, so a doubling up there with some good pressure D by the Hobbs.
39 seconds on the clock. It's 18-3. Lady Eagles lead here in the first quarter. Zoe Bryant's bringing it up here for the Lady Rams. Half-court pressure. Saez checks her. Goes right side to Green. She's being checked by Hall. Green with the right hand. Flips it underneath for Robles. Robles into the corner. Stolen away. Ball's loose. Mojica's going to try to save it. She'll step on the line, and she does so. That'll be Rams basketball.
So giving the ball back and forth here. Remember, Hobbs with no games under their belt versus 8 for Montwood, so definitely an advantage for a team coming here to Tasker Arena tonight.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like we missed a beat. Look like we're firing on all cylinders. Rams inbound the ball. Knocked away by Joseph. Saez gets it on the run. Saez with the left hand under pressure. She's going to spin back. In trouble. It's going to end up in the hands of Hall. Hall right side Mojica. Mojica looks for Cunningham. Not there. Flips it back. Left side, Saez goes underneath to David with the right hand. Off the glass, and Jayla David gets her first point, says the Lady Eagle.
Beautiful drop step by David. Kind of the shot puts it off the glass there. Not much what you can do underneath defensively to try to swat that one. Used her body just to block herself to the basket.
20-3. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Lady Eagles basketball on YouTube.com.
Welcome back to Task Arena. Ty friend coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Lady Eagles open up their season. A big lead here on the home floor, 20-3. And coach, big points already for Nia Joseph. 6 points, 4 rebounds, working on a double-double already. And already a total of 7 players have scored for Hobbs. Just one, Alexa Munoz for El Paso Montwood with the tray.
Yeah, we're probably going to see the benches even empty early in this game, and we'll probably end up having a running clock at some point. But Yeah, 20-3. Second quarter getting ready underway. The Rams will have the ball.
7-4 rebounding advantage for Hobbs, and the turnover margin 10-5 in favor of the Lady Eagles as well.
Montwood having trouble getting it in. They find Kayla Green. Check that. That's Lauren Valtierra. Right side Robles. Top of the key to Cynthia Gallegos. Goes into the corner to Gretel. Jordan, top of the key. It's going to be Rodriguez. She drives, pulls out with the left hand. She wants a long three, has it swatted away. Joseph with the rebound. Nice block there by Brett Clay. Anthony comes up the court, right hands it, back door to Cunningham with the left-handed layup. It's good. Cunningham has 4, and it is 22-3.
Turnover margin still 10-5. Lady Eagles taking care of business defensively.
And that one's going to be thrown away off the hands of Mojica. Check that. That's Brent Hargrove. Giving the Rams a little bit of trouble there on that press.
Lady Eagles also with 3 blocked shots so far here in the first half, and we're early in the second quarter, up by 19, their biggest lead of the ball game.
Rams to inbound near side. Being checked by the 6-foot Hargrove.
Hobbs started 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior in this game.
Check that. That's Cunningham that was guarding her there. Right side, it goes over to Munoz. Top of the key to Green. Green with the right hand. She's going to drive. She'll pull it out. Near side, it comes over to Valtierra. Valtierra with the left hand. Rodriguez, she wants a long three. Rodriguez drains it from the outside, showing a little range there, and that makes it 22-6. Lady Eagles quickly up the court. Here's Hargrove's short jumper. She's got it. Hargrove's looked really comfortable this year. See huge improvements in her game.
At the other end, Hobbs has got to get off those screens at the perimeter. That's getting those 3-point shots opened up, and you got to stop those. That's the only scoring so far.
24-6. Rams quickly up the court. They're going to get a quick layup from Rodriguez, who's now got 5 points, and that makes it 24-8. Anthony works it into Cunningham. Cunningham with the right hand off the glass. She gets her own rebound, has it blocked going right back up. But there's Hargrove, and Hargrove puts it back in. She's got 8, almost in double figures here early.
A lot of girls starting to crash those boards to help out the offensive cause.
And then Hargrove gets in there defensively, almost gets a steal on the inbounds.
Yeah, those traps at all 3 levels of the court, backcourt, midcourt, and back in the backcourt defensively as well. I mean, there's a lot of aggressiveness going on there, contesting every pass.
Rams inbound into the corner. Here's Valtierra. She's in trouble. And there's going to be a foul. They're going to get Hargrove with a push.
A little check foul on the hip, kind of a tight call on that one. Hobbs will take a couple of those, but then Carpenter's even kind of lobbying against that one right now. Didn't think there was much of a hack on that. Maybe just a little touch on the chest or on the hip.
First personal, third team foul. Valtierra with the ball right side, across the timeline. She's working against Hargrove. Kicks it out. Munoz. She's going to be checked by Joseph. Munoz is going to drive, and they're going to get her with a jump ball as they're going to tie her up as she's going up.
Lady Eagles doing a good job of coming off the backside to help out on that left part of the paint to get the tie up, and came down right on top of the basketball flat-handed to make sure there's no arm in the way.
Across the timeline, here comes Wisdom Anthony. She's been quiet tonight. Joseph, top of the key.
She's quiet with an 18-point lead, though, Coach.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, sir. Far side, it's going to spin it around to Cunningham. Cunningham to Hargrove. Hargrove holds it above her 5'7" frame. It goes to Joseph. Joseph, right side Hargrove. She's looking for Cunningham, not there. Joseph's going to flip it out to Anthony. Anthony gets a pick. Double team. Anthony's going to spin around the double team. She's going to drive, float, has it blocked, but she still gets a shot off, and she's going to be fouled on the play. That'll put Anthony on the line to shoot 2.
That shows you how much muscle that girl has. I mean, she got hit right on the forearm, but still extended her shot out, pushed it towards the hoop to get that foul call, and definitely a nice follow-through. They got a chance for 2 free throws now.
Hobbs leading 26-8 here, 5:37 on the clock in the second quarter.
Second foul on Valtierra, 15th foul. Nice little swish free throw there.
Anthony makes the first of the 2, giving her 3rd point of the night.
Lady Eagles are now 1 of 2 in the free throw department for 50%.
Her second opportunity with the right hand is off the iron. It's going to be controlled by Munoz. Munoz ahead to Valtierra. Valtierra with the left hand. She's in trouble. Clay's all over her. Hands it over to Kayla Green. She's going to drive, floater in the lane, right hands it, and Green's on the board with 2.
Now they got 3 scores at this point, 5 for Rodriguez, 3 for Munoz, and a bucket for Valtierra.
Here's Anthony working top of the key. He's going to kick it out to Hargrove. Gets a pick from Anthony. Hargrove steps out, resets the offense. Right side Clay, bounce pass to Cunningham, back out to Clay. She wants a 3. Clay with the right hand off the iron. Ball's loose. There's Anthony. She cleans it up and puts it in. Anthony now has 5 points here, and it's 29-10.
Second rebound as well. They left her wide open on that left elbow. Not the person you want to leave like that.
A defense broke down. They got Rodriguez. She's flying ahead of everybody. She has 7. Quick counter there from Montwood.
All 7 of those points for Rodriguez here in the second quarter. Kind of a spark plug for the Rams.
Hargrove sets up the offense. Here's Anthony. Anthony dribble drive, kicks it out. Long shot, right-handed up, no good. Controlled by Joseph on the rebound. Joseph goes up, and she's going to be fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's her 6th rebound. She came over the top of her defender that was blocking her out with her butt that time and reached over the top, pulled the ball straight up instead of putting her chest into the back of the player, and that's why they didn't call a foul on her.
So Joseph will go to the line, shoot 2 herself, leading 29-12 here, 17-point lead, 4:31 on the clock in the second. First free throw in and out.
That was the second foul on Green, the 16th foul on the Rams.
Well, that's something. They only brought 9 on this trip, so they don't have a lot of depth on that team.
Nia Joseph just 49% free throw shooting last year for the Lady Eagles.
Second one in and out. Ball rattles into the hands of Munoz. Munoz coming up the court. She's going to get ran over from behind as Clay's trying to make a play and couldn't put the brakes on there.
Yeah, Brett Clay, I think, is probably one of your most ferocious defenders for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. She sometimes gets a little bit ahead of herself and ends up kind of ramming you to the ground.
She does everything with energy for sure. 4:29 on the clock. Here's the Rams working right to left on your TV screen. Valtierra in trouble. She's going to hand it over to Reyes. Reyes, who just entered the game, hands to Green. Green tied up, loses it. Hargrove has it. Hargrove, she's got one-on-one. Hargrove's going to go up, finish the right hand off the glass, no good. Anthony has it. Anthony's going to hand it over to, it looks like number 23. That's Jayla David. David's got her 4th point of the game, and it's now 31-12.
Yeah, nice little gift handoff there in the paint. I don't think it was intended, but she'll take advantage of it and lay it in.
Here comes Munoz. She's going to back it out, working against David. Right hands it over to Jordan. Jordan in trouble, has it knocked away by Anthony. It's loose. Anthony's going to somehow come away with it. She's going to float and score with her right hand. Wisdom Anthony. Right after I said she hadn't been much of a force, she's now got 7 points.
She was defending 2 players by herself that time, split between them and tipped the ball out of their hands and went into score, and then gets the Rams having to call timeout after that with a 21-point deficit, worst of the game.
33-12 your score, 3:30 in the clock. We'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Lady Eagles Basketball on YouTube.com. Welcome back. 33-12 your score. 3:30 on the clock here in the second. Rams inbounding on the right side, have the length of the court to go. What do you think of the game so far, Ty?
Pretty much what we expected here. I mean, you don't have as many games under your belt, but you're going to make them pay on this home Tasco Arena floor, that's for sure.
Here's Rodriguez, leading scorer for the Rams so far, crosses the timeline into the corner, back out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez almost has it stolen away by Brent Hargrove, being very aggressive out there defensively. Right side Green. Green has it knocked away. That's going to be Lady Eagles basketball.
Lady Eagles on a 13-9 scoring situation here in the second quarter, but you got to remember 9 points scored by the Rams. They only had 3 in the first quarter. They were down by 17 heading into the second.
Here's Erin Hall, right side Clay. Clay with the left hand. Looks for Anthony. Goes into the corner. Erin Hall with the right hand off the iron. Green with the rebound. And we got a timeout on the floor as the Rams want to talk things over.
Wait. Official pointed at the baseline and said something to the coach, put his thumbs up to his chest, and I'm not sure what he's got here. He's walking to the other end of the court to talk to Coach Carpenter. I'm not sure what this is about. Coach Carpenter is going to try to find somebody in the
maybe some water on the floor.
Now we got a bunch of personnel heading back towards the Montwood bench, and Coach Carpenter just went and got somebody. I don't know, maybe there's some blood on the floor, actually. That might be the reason why they're stopping action. And
could be. They brought the trainer out.
Somebody's they're dealing with somebody on the bench right now for Montwood. She must have had something happen to her.
The Rams will inbound, thrown away quickly as Hall gets the steal. She looks for Anthony. Anthony fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebound, Lady Eagles. Clay back out to Hargrove. Long two, no good. Into the hands of David, and David puts it up and in.
David with 6 points and a rebound, right where she needed to be underneath the hoop, waiting for that deflection.
Lady Eagles get another steal. It's going to be ahead to Anthony. Anthony back out to Hall. Hall wants the three. No good. Rebounds loose into Anthony's hands. Anthony looking again. She's going to spin away. Anthony, floater off the iron. Controlled by David. Another rebound put back for Jayla David. She has 8.
I like that freshman coach. She needs to be where she is in the paint, looking for basketballs coming off the rim.
Here's Montwood across the timeline. Rodriguez shake and bake. She's going to go through the lane. Floater with the right hand. Fires it up. No good. Ball's loose, out of bounds. Lady Eagles basketball.
Hobbs at their biggest lead now of 25, 37-12 with just 2:03 left in the second quarter. And looks like there'll be a lot of opportunity to get some bench personnel in this game.
Yeah. And we've already played deep, really. I think we've played 9 deep already so far, maybe even 10.
And with 7 scorers.
Here comes across the timeline. Here's Saez. Saez, top of the key, Hall. Hall to Mojica. Mojica looks for Clay, not there. Wisdom Anthony. Anthony picks up the dribble. She's going to drive. Hop step. She gets shoved. And that'll be on the floor, but that'll be Lady Eagles getting the ball back.
Not many people, except for Wisdom Anthony, going to have the guts to go through 2 defenders and kind of hippity-hop over the top through the middle of them that time, which she did, and got kind of tripped from behind, so taking advantage of flat-footed defense.
And that's going to be 1-1. She gets to go to the line and shoot here.
Alyssa Rodriguez picks up her first, as you mentioned, the 17th foul against the Rams, and chance for Anthony to try to improve on her 1-for-2 free throw shooting, 50%. As a team, the Lady Eagles currently at 1-for-4 for 25%.
And that's going to be our bane that we need to really overcome. You always work on your weakness, and that may be something to spend some extra time on. Anthony at the line, spins it up to the right hand, fires, and she has it. Anthony now has 8 on the game, and it's 38-12.
See what happens when we give her lip service up here? I'm sure she heard every second of that,
There you go. She's like, oh, you don't think I've contributed enough. Here you go. Second one's off the iron, controlled by Rodriguez. She's going to throw it away. Ball's loose. Now Green has it. Green's going to have to hand to Valtierra. Valtierra being checked by Mojica around the back. Crosses the timeline with the left hand. Here's Green. Green has it ripped away by Anthony, and she's off to the races. Green's going to give her a push in the open court. She wasn't going for the ball. That should be intentional. I haven't seen the call as of yet.
By the way, that's the 17th turnover by this El Paso Montwood team. A lot of those are just giveaways right back to Lady Eagles, and they look like they're going to go with the 1-and-1 here, Coach.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's not an intentional foul because she didn't make a play for the ball. She made a play for the middle of her back.
It was kind of like a breakaway. Usually on a breakaway, if a player gets past you and you reach from behind and grab somebody, that's an automatic 2. But that's the 3rd foul, though, against Green, so she's definitely having some foul trouble.
And she's already found the bench. Anthony's first shot's good.
She is now 3 of 5, 60% from the charity stripe. And 9 points to her name, leading the team in scoring at this point. David has 8, a lot of those in cleanup shots under the bucket, and also 8 for Bryn Hargrove.
Second one's up. She's got that one, too. She's in double figures with 10, and it is 40-12.
Biggest lead of the game at 28.
Montwood across the timeline. Montwood's going to drive down to the baseline, kick it out as Valtierra steps on the line trying to find somebody.
think we got a break on that one. It looked like a little body, a chest push, or maybe a hip shot there by one of the Lady Eagles on that baseline that time. I think that was Jayla David out there. Boy, when you see these freshmen putting their body on the line, getting physical like this at that age, it usually takes a couple of years before you get into that state of mind. But we got some good court sense type of players.
Absolutely. Here's Mojica. Mojica's looking for Cunningham, not there. Works it to Saez, to Joseph. Joseph looks for Cunningham. It's not there. She's going to take it herself. Joseph with the right hand. She rolls it up and in. And Joseph has 8.
More power, too. A girl had a hand on the ball defensively, and she still pushed it to the hole and got it to drop.
Montwood quickly up the court. Right hand throws it away. And Lady Eagles get the ball back here, leading 42-12.
Thanks to the 19th turnover for Montwood.
Talk about it on the floor. We'll take a break, too. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on YouTube.com. Welcome back, 42-12. 49.8 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Lady Eagles have the ball in the front court with 40 seconds left here in the second.
Going to be stolen away by Montwood coming across the timeline. They quickly jumped out on that pass. Here's Valtiera, right side Rodriguez. She's going to drive. Going to kick it outside. They're going to reset things. Valtiera. Right side Rodriguez. She looks at the 3, doesn't want it. She wants to drive, though. She floats it up with the right hand, in and out. Controlled by Saez, and she's going to get fouled by Rodriguez. Saez will go to the line to shoot 1-1.
So Hobbs taking some advantage of a good body position on rebounding, both ends of the court, as they'll take a gallop to the other end for those free throws, up by 30.
Just 20 seconds left here. And, you know, I hate to say this game is decided, but it's decided.
17-9 free throw or rebounding advantage for the Lady Eagles. That's really the difference in the game. A lot of crashing going on the offensive boards, especially.
Saez makes her free throw. That's her first point of the night, and that'll end up taking the lead to 43-12.
Hobbs now with 8 scores in the book so far, and for Montwood just 3.
Second one's up and in. Saez makes them both. Across the court, they're going to look across the timeline. Here comes Valtiera. She'll get pushed by Mojica. That'll be the 6th team foul and the first personal against Mojica.
Hobbs might get out of this first half without giving up a bonus, which would be a nice little feather in the cap with Coach Carpenter and a big 32-point lead, their biggest of the game.
Robles across the timeline with the left hand. She kicks it out. She finds Jordan. Jordan thinking about it. Joseph's all over her. Jordan's going to drive it, dribble it off her foot. And they're going to really extend pressure all the way to half court, and that's going to cause time to expire. 44-12, your score. Lady Eagles lead. We'll be back to second half action in just a bit. You're listening to Lady Eagles basketball on YouTube.com.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. It's time for more Hobbs Lady Eagle hoops here at the half, and a big lead for Hobbs, 44-12, as they lead by 32, their biggest lead of the ball game. And Coach, pretty much well in hand at this point. Domination in the first quarter as they were up 20-3 by 17, and then outscored El Paso Montwood 24-9 in the second quarter. So I'm getting a lot of people off the bench too.
Yeah, it's a nice situation to have here where you have to play everybody because you're up in the lead. It gets a lot of those younger players good experience against a varsity squad. And, we have some younger players we hadn't seen yet, and I've been impressed so far. The young players from last year look like they've improved greatly, and the new young players look like they fit right in.
Had some good sides out there, too. Let's look at the numbers in the first half. El Paso Montwood, really just 3 girls in the books at this point. Alyssa Rodriguez with 7 points, all 7 coming in the second quarter, including a tray. She has 2 rebounds. Alexa Munoz hit a tray for 3 points, 0 for 2 free throw shooting, and a bucket by Lauren Valtierra. So those are the 3 scores. They do have 2 players with 3 rebounds so far, Kayla Green and Alexa Munoz, a total of 8 boards at this point for the Rams. The big problem for them in the first half, Coach, besides not enough points, 19 turnovers.
Yeah. But you said that they had games with over 30 turnovers. At this pace that you're going to look to close to 40, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to call off the press at some point in the second half. He always does. But he still puts pressure on you in the half court, so it's just a different beast. Let's just give you a little time to walk it up before he put the pressure on.
I'm forgetting, too, we're only 3 points away from Mercy Roll, where they keep the clock running, even out of bounds, etc. Texas not used to that, though, right? They don't have that in the Lone Star State.
No, they don't. You just kind of take your licks when they come. But you can make an agreement. If both coaches agree to it, they can run clock and stuff. But luckily for us, we have something in place for games like this.
Hobbs has 1 player in double figures so far. That's Wisdom Anthony, and she's got 10 points, 3 buckets, and a lot of free throws in that second quarter especially. She was 4 of 6 from the charity stripe to get up to that double-digit mark.
Yeah, did it like all at once, too. We talked about how quiet she was in the first quarter, and all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. It's as if she heard us. She puts a quick 10 on the board. And that's the way Anthony is. She knows how to take over a ball game, and she certainly contributes to every aspect of the game.
Other scores getting close to double figures. Bryn Hargrove, she had 8 points, 4 in each quarter. Jayla David dumped in 6 in the second quarter for 8 overall. And Maya Joseph had 8 points. She had 4 buckets, was 0 for 2 on the line, but led the team with 6 rebounds.
And, Nia Joseph did a little bit of everything. She was even guarding their leading scorer out there on the perimeter. She was all over Munoz.
Other scores in the books so far, a bunch of players that have 2 points apiece. That's Brett Clay, 0 for 1 on the line. Nakia Mojica has a bucket as well. I should mention Kendall Cunningham with 2 buckets for 4 points. Also Saez, Carolina Saez, the assistant coach's daughter, 2 for 2 on the line for 2 points. And so, again, a lot of players on the board so far, 8 total getting some scores. Hobbs out rebounding Montwood 17-8. So far the leader in the rebounds, 6 for Joseph, 3 for Wisdom Anthony, and 2 apiece for Clay, Cunningham, and David. So far the Lady Eagles 6 of 11 for the charity stripe and only have 6 turnovers compared again to 19, so a plus 13 in terms of domination against their opponent, the Rams.
Yeah, it's total domination too. It's not a game. We knew that Montwood was a struggling squad, and we knew that they didn't handle the ball well, and all of that's just extenuated from the fact that they're playing one of the top teams in New Mexico, and it's not been a game.
And, of course, Montwood's only shot 2 free throws, 0 for 2 at that number so far. So definitely got to get some more opportunities for putbacks in the paint. They got some ricochet rebounds, but not really getting up strong. A lot of times they're passing it out. It did work a few times, though, Coach. Montwood doing a little screen on the perimeter, trying to open up a three-point shooter, able to drill one of those through. Yeah,
not consistently, and they actually were shooting with people in their face. It wasn't an open shot either. They showed a little range there. Rodriguez kind of heated up there for a minute. She had 7 quick points for him, and that's why she led him in scoring.
About a minute left before second half action. Hobbs up 44-12 over the Rams from El Paso Montwood. We'll take a final 30-second break and get it going here at Tasker. You're listening live to HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. Your score 44-12. The Lady Eagles up on the Montwood Rams as we start the third quarter of play time.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that trap pressure that we're seeing from Hobbs continue on in this third quarter. Get us to a mercy roll, down by 3 from that margin at this point. 32, need 35 to get that clock rolling to get this one done early.
Montwood across the timeline. Valtierra flips it out. She's got Munoz. Munoz to Green. Green back into the game with playing with 3 fouls. Hands it over to Gallegos. Gallegos Rodriguez. Rodriguez backs it out. Left hand goes over the top. Munoz flips it out to Green. Rams playing with a little bit more pace on their passing here. Here's Gallegos. She's going to drive. Had it swatted away by Anthony. Anthony's going to come down with a rebound. Anthony cross-courts it right side Hargrove. Hargrove, floater, floats it up, looking for Joseph. Joseph doesn't realize the ball's coming. It's loose. Joseph rips it out of the hands of the Rams player on the ground, and Joseph lays it in for a basket.
Actually, that was Jayla David that time, gets the points on that one. She looks exactly like Joseph from behind. You're right on that, though.
There you go. So David has her 10th point. Joseph has 8. Munoz across the timeline, checked by Hargrove. Munoz to the left hand. She drives over toward Anthony. Here's Rodriguez under pressure. Kicks it out to Munoz. Munoz drives to the left hand and is going to get fouled. We got Wisdom Anthony to the reach as she's going up for a layup. There'll be 2 shots here.
Yeah, Anthony tried to go up high as she could and came down the arm after the block. So she tried her best to stay up as high as she could, but gravity kind of took those fingers down the arm.
Munoz at the foul line, spins it over to the right hand, bends and fires, and this one's in and out.
They were just 0 for 2 in the first half on the free throws, now 0 for 3, and Munoz shooting all 3 of those free throws.
When you're not used to this pace and you're struggling with the turnovers, slowing down for a free throw is difficult sometimes. Munoz's second opportunity is up, in and out again. Joseph with the rebound. Joseph ahead to Wisdom Anthony. Anthony's going to flip it back over to David on the fly. Jayla David has 12. And the Lady Eagles now up 48-12.
Welcome to Hobbs, Miss Freshman Jayla David.
Yes, Jayla leading all scorers. Right hand to Gallego, swatted around by Joseph. Flips out to Hargrove. Hargrove gets the offense up and running. Here comes Anthony left side. Anthony attacking zone. Looks like they're switching to a man-to-man here. Anthony working against Gallegos. Right side. Goes into Joseph. Joseph looking back door. It's not there. She's going to drive, kick it out to Hargrove. Hargrove, right-handed floater. Hargrove has it. She has 10.
Hargrove actually switched hands in midair before she put that up over the rim. And, boy, what a nice control the ball that time coming down the paint.
Yeah, nice little running jumper there. Likes to float. Munoz is going to hand it over to Valtierra, and they get the offense started for Montwood. Right side, Rodriguez. She's being checked by Erilyn Hall. It's going to float into Munoz. She kicks it outside. Valtierra is going to drive. Valtierra has it swatted away. A block by David. Hargrove on the run. Hargrove looks back door. She's going to switch to the left-hand floater with the left-hand scoop and score. Brenton Hargrove has 12.
Hobbs Lady Eagles now with 3 players in double figures, 12 apiece for Hargrove, David, and 10 for Anthony. Unbelievable shot that time.
Beautiful. She's been watching Anthony for sure.
52-12, a 40-point lead. Mercy roll underway.
And Rodriguez has it swatted away, but they're going to call a foul on the play, and this is going to stop action.
So clock should continue to run, and that'll be a 2-shot foul, though. They will stop it here, but still, it's going to be over quick.
Yeah, this one's going to start picking up the pace on us.
Call that one on Hargrove, her second, and that'll be the second team foul here in the third quarter.
Rodriguez with the right hand. She's got it. That gives her her 8th point, and it is 52-13. 5-a-side basketball. We have 5 new players on the court for the Lady Eagles.
Montwood is 1 of 5 from the charity stripe for 20%. Lady Eagles 6 of 11.
Leigh Torres into the game for the first time for the Lady Eagles. We're in 33. She's a senior post, 5'8". Cunningham with the rebound on the miss. Cunningham in trouble, looking for help. She's going to go back door to Clay. Clay goes ahead to Saez. We have a 2-on-1. Saez pulls up for 3. Right hands it up and in. Carolina Saez has 5.
Last year she had 32 or 37% three-point shooting, one of the best on the team. Not much time out in the game. 19 minutes last year coming off the bench.
Clay with a quick steal. Saez has it back top of the key. Lady Eagles working against the man-to-man.
20 turnover for the Rams.
Top of the key, Cunningham. Cunningham looking back door. She's going to pump and drive, and she's going to get held. This will be on the floor. Lady Eagles get the ball back.
Yeah, I'd love to see that maneuver there by Cunningham. She didn't have any help outside on the perimeter, so she looked down towards the hole, kind of a hippity-hop step, and went to the rack with it and got pushed along as she came down the lane.
One thing that we do very well as a team is we use the triple threat off of passes very well.
That was the second foul on Munoz and the first team foul against the Rams.
Inbound to Saez, top of the key. She's going to get the offense started. She's directing traffic with the right hand. She goes over to Torres, top of the key, Cunningham. Foul on the back side here. We're going to get a push against the Rams. And,
referee brought out the bull cape that time and flipped his arms up in the air because somebody was really pushing off hard. The clock's running at 3:40 because of the mercy rule. It looks like they're going to charge that one to the Rams 33.
I'm not certain. The only person that was over there that was in that number group was
I think it's a double foul, Coach. That's what they had. They had 33 and 12. 33 Mia Robles for the Rams, and I believe for Hobbs it was Ramsey.
No, she's not. The 12 has to be the
others team. Yeah, they must have switched those out. I think it was a double foul, though.
Top of the key. Going to be flipped over to Cunningham. She's going to take a long jumper. Cunningham with the right hand in and out. Rebound by the Lady Eagles backside. That's Torres, and Torres is on the board. It is 57-13.
Another player in the books for scores for the Lady Eagles, now 9 so far.
Rams bring it across the timeline. Left side, Rodriguez, the leading scorer. She's being checked by Mojica. Into the corner. Ball's loose. The scrambles for it. She's going to throw it up. Rams are going to have to save it, and the Lady Eagles are off and running. Here's Cunningham. Ahead to Mojica. She's going to slow it down and set the offense up. Mojica looks backdoor, trying to find Torres, and Torres is going to run somebody over. That'll be a foul on Torres there. So Torres picks up her second personal foul. That'll be a turnover as well on the foul, offensive foul. 2:40 on the clock, 57-13 your score. Lady Eagles with the lead.
Well, they have a lot of road games, Coach. Quite a few tournaments up in Santa Fe and Dallas. They play the Hobbs Holiday Tournament finally going in late December there. But a lot of games on the road, and that's how you get better as a team.
Yeah, and that Dallas tournament's going to be a good one. Across the timeline, here comes the Rams. Backdoor pass. It's going to be thrown up at the rim as Valtierra can't find the basket there.
Brett Clay picks it up on the far sideline.
Here's Mojica. To Cunningham. Turnaround left-handed shot from Cunningham down there. Quick spin move. She's comfortable going either direction.
Yeah, very physical player. 6 foot, of course. That really helps out with the size, but she kind of spins like a little guard out there as using her defender on the hip and just turning it into her.
Very impressed with the freshman so far. First varsity game with the right hand. It's up and good.
First free throw attempt made for her in the game. She has 5 points, and the Lady Eagles getting that first free throw in the second half now, 7 of 12 on the line.
58-13 your score with $1:53 left here in the third.
They do stop the clock on 2-shot fouls, even though it is the mercy rule.
Second one's up, off the iron. She's going to get her own rebound, though. Cunningham, backdoor pass. She finds Torres, who throws it up. No good. The ball's on the floor. Torres is fighting for it. And do they get her in the foul, or do they get her in the walk or jump? I'm not sure what the signal is here.
Her backside on the floor, sliding quite a bit. She gets a rebound out of it, and waiting to see what the final result was.
They're going to call Torres with a foul. Her third personal.
Yeah, third personal, and that's going to be the 15th foul against the Lady Eagles.
Well, we know we got somebody that likes to come in and play physical in Torres.
1:16 left here in the third under the mercy rule clock. Lady Eagles up by 45, the biggest lead of the game.
Montwood across the timeline. Here's Jordan. Jordan being trapped by Mojica. She's going to hand to Munoz. They're going to put Cunningham on her. The Hobbs bigs are guarding the point guard Munoz. Here's Jordan being checked by Mojica. Top of the key, Munoz, right side. Hands it to Valtierra. She's going to drive. Float has it swatted away. Mojica on the run, coming up the court. Backdoor pass. It's going to float up and off the glass by Saez, and they're going to tie it up here. That'll be a jump ball.
Araceli Torres going against 2 defenders that time to rip it away from them to get although they do call the jump ball, but battling hard with Mia Robles, one of the players. And Dosi Doan in the paint.
Here's the inbounds by the Lady Eagles. Mojica doing the duties here. Looks back door, trying to find a cutting Brett Clay.
Ball got punched out with a fist that time from the defender. That was Alyssa Rodriguez in the paint.
And brings in again. This time it's off of Clay's knee. Rebound is the loose ball is going to be picked up by Ava Reyes. Reyes across the timeline. Flips it to Munoz, checking against Cunningham. Backdoor pass knocked away by Mojica. Good defensive hands there by Mojica to prevent the layup.
That was just the 7th turnover for Hobbs on the previous offensive play. 20 turnovers for El Paso Montwood. And look, Coach, already done with the third quarter.
58-13 your score. We'll be back in a few moments. You're listening and watching Lady Eagle basketball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.com.
Back live here at Tasker Arena. Ty Friend along with Coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Lady Eagles up 45 points. Mercy Roll going into the fourth quarter, 58-13. A lot of girls in double figures so far. Hargrove and David with 12, 10 for Wisdom Anthony. Now back to Coach.
Hobbs quickly up the court here. They're going to try to force it inside. Stolen away by Montwood. Rams coming up the court with Valtierra leading the way. She's going to hand to Munoz to start up the offense. Munoz crosses over. Being checked by Jayla Davis. I'm sorry, that's Rosalind Ramsey wearing number 12 there. Will be thrown away out of bounds, but off the hands of number 42, Leilani Clay, and Montwood will get the ball back.
Alyssa Rodriguez, a top scorer for the Rams with 8 points, and 7 of those just in the first quarter. She's only scored 1 since then.
Munoz directing traffic here. Going to hand over to Green. Green flips it on the back door. Valtierra with the right hand off the back door, and she's got her first points of the night. It is now 58-15.
Still a 43-point lead for the Lady Eagles. The clock will continue to run throughout the rest of this quarter, except for 2-shot free throws.
Lonnie Clay is going to hand it to Rosalind Ramsey. Ramsey's going to flip it over to Torres and then flip it out of bounds, but off of Rams. That'll be Lady Eagles basketball. Desiree Vasquez into the game for the Lady Eagles. Going deep into the bench. This is 15 players we've seen at least tonight.
That's exactly how you want to start the season, too.
Stolen away by Cynthia Gallegos. She's going to hand to Munoz. Or check, that's Valtierra. She's going to fire up a 3 off the glass. Leilani Clay has it. It's loose. Goes over to Valtierra. She's going to be fouled by Mojica going up to the basket, and that'll give Valtierra a couple of free throws.
Well, that's one thing you start to learn on this Hobbs squad, especially for the younger players. You don't just reach your hand out for a basketball. You got to go grab it with your claws, basically. And that time we didn't do that, and that gave a chance for the Rams to try to lay it up there.
That'll put Valtierra at the free throw line to shoot 2 here.
That's the second foul on Mojica and the 16th foul for the Lady Eagles.
So after this, the Rams will be shooting for the rest of the game. Valtierra's free throw is up and good. She's got it.
They're 2 for 5 from the charity stripe, 40%. And only 3 players have shot free throws. Valtierra, perfect 1 for 1 now, and has 5.
Valtierra back at the line. Pretty good crowd here. Student section showing up here for the Lady Eagles. Ball's loose, rebounded by Valtierra on the missed free throw. Rodriguez into the corner, Munoz. Munoz crossover dribble into the corner. Rodriguez for 3, no good. Lady Eagles with the rebound. Quickly up the court. They're going to lose that as Saez couldn't control. Here's Montwood attacking zone. Into the lane, Valtierra is going to flip it out. Munoz looking for a long shot. Not there. Back to Valtierra. Long 3 from Valtierra. She's got it. She's heating up here.
Second tray of the ball game for this Rams team as she has 8 points. That's leading with Alyssa Rodriguez, both with 8.
Attacking zone. Lady Eagles put up a shot. It's going to be rebounded by Montwood. Montwood quickly up the court. Here comes Gallegos. Gallegos over to Munoz. She thinks about a 3. She don't want it. Munoz working, spins around. Gallegos going to flip it over to Valtierra. Check that. That's green. That's going to be a push right there. And actually, it's Valtierra that had the ball, and she will go to the line to shoot 1-on-1.
She was driving hard to the half-court line. Almost looked like she was going to the other side of the court, and at the last second got fouled. But I think she might have gotten back court on her own without even realizing where she was.
Yeah, that was very close.
So they get that foul call against the Lady Eagles, charging it to Saez, her first, and that'll be the 17th foul. You mentioned he'll come back to the bonus right after this break.
Yeah, timeout on the floor. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Lady Eagles basketball on YouTube.com and HobbsAmerica.com.
Back here at Task Arena, Hobbs up 58-19 over El Paso Montwood. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Hobbs, though, getting outscored here in the fourth quarter so far, Coach. A 6-0 run here for El Paso Montwood. So they're trying to get some things done, starting to move it to the paint a little bit and get some foul calls.
Well, they're bringing in a lot of JV players, people at the end of the bench getting some experience here. And, they got to settle down and play the game.
And now back to the free throw line goes the Rams.
Here's Valtierra, the right hand, spins it up, fires it, and she's got it. Valtierra now has 9 points.
She is 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. Leads the team in scoring. 8 for Rodriguez behind here by a point. 3 for Munoz. Only 3 scores in the book so far for the traveling Montwood Rams.
58-20 on the scoreboard here. 4 on the clock, and it's rolling. Valtierra's second opportunity off the iron. Controlled by Saez. Saez with the right hand. She'll get the offense started coming across the timeline. Goes over to Rosalind Ramsey. Ramsey's going to drive. Kicks it out to Bianca Guerra. And that's going to be out of bounds. They'll be off the Rams, Lady Eagles basketball.
Bianca Guerra, another one of the seniors for the Lady Eagles. They've got a total right now of 5 that are on the roster for this squad.
Here's the inbound. Saez, she's going to drive. Floats it over, hands it to Torres. Torres fires one up, doesn't draw an iron. Off of Montwood, but they're going to give it back to him and say Mojica poked it out of there.
Talk about a rainbow jumper on that shot. Unfortunately, didn't get rim.
No, it did not. Here's the Rams coming up. Valtierra across the timeline. far side, it goes to Arvelo. Rodriguez, she wants a long three. Airballs it. Munoz with the rebound. Munoz working. She's trying to back in Torres. She's going to float, fire, and she rolls that one in. And that'll be the 5th point for Alexa Munoz.
So the Rams trying to pick away at the lead, but it's still a mercy roll. 36 points. 35 is where the mercy roll starts here in high school basketball in New Mexico, but not in Texas.
Here's Ramsey's opportunity off the glass. Controlled by Arvelo. She's going to hand to Munoz. 2:41 on the clock. Munoz being checked by Torres. Munoz around the back. She's going to drive the lane, loses it, and that'll be Lady Eagles basketball.
That's a 21st turnover for the Rams. The Hobbs Lady Eagles with just 11.
Clock's still moving here. 58-22.
Don't forget Hobbs boys back in action here. The first game of the season at Tasker Arena coming up after this one on Cool 95.7. That's the radio, of course. Back here on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube again as well.
Right side, Ramsey. Working against Jordan. She's going to go top of the key. Spins it around. Near side, Mojica shake and bake. She's going to spin. Picks up her dribble. It goes to Ramsey again. Ramsey spins around, floats, fires the right hand, in and out. Ball's loose, off the Rams. That'll be Lady Eagles basketball with 1:48 on the clock.
Lady Eagles are not scared to take it to the hoop, Coach. Getting in there hard that time was Ramsey, and kind of off balance and still able to put the shot up.
Inbound is going to go off of Size's hands. Off to the races. Here comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes the length of the court into her bench, trying to dive for it. Good hustle there from Rodriguez, but it'll be off of her in Lady Eagles basketball.
Turnover count now 22-6 in favor of Hobbs. A lot of those unforced errors, though, for El Paso Montwood.
Here's Mojica setting up the offense. Near side, Leilani Clay. Leilani Clay with a nice backdoor pass. It's going to be off the rim by Ramsey. Here comes Valtierra. Valtierra. Backdoor Rodriguez. Long three. No good. Ball's loose. Mojica off to the races. Mojica has numbers. She's going to flip it backdoor on a touch pass. And check that. That was Ramsey backdooring it to Mojica. So Mojica picks up 2 points there. She has 4, and it is 60-22.
Back up by 38. 40 seconds left in the first game of the season for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. I think this is going to be a W.
Yeah, I think this one's in the books, sir.
Pass off to the right wing for Arelo. She gets bited up hard on the defense. Right on top of her is Vasquez for Hobbs. Pass back to half court. Fumbling the ball off her foot is Reyes. Spins, comes down the left side of the lane, punches out left corner to Vatera, and she gets a double team, decides not to go against it, backs out on the far side.
Valtierra driving with the left hand, kicks it out to Rodriguez. They're going to reset top of the key to Arvelo. Arvelo's going to float to Jordan. Jordan's going to miss the shot, and that's going out of bounds. That'll be time, as they're not going to get it inbounded before the clock goes off. Your final score, 60-22. Hobbs Lady Eagles coming away with a big victory. We're going to take about 30 seconds here so that we can get you the final stats, and then we got to switch over to our next broadcast. So this will be an abbreviated post-game show, but we'll just let Ty Friend tally it up here, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The Hobbs Lady Eagles coming away with the victory here. Some quick stats. 60-22 is the margin of victory. Big win here for the Lady Eagles. What do you got stat-wise?
Boy, ugly finish for the Lady Eagles, Coach. They were outscored 9-2 in that fourth quarter, but still winning by 38 for the Mercy Roll. So big win for Coach Carpenter and the squad to go 1-0 on the season. First of all, let's take a look at the El Paso Montwood Rams. Nobody getting to double figures tonight. Lauren Valtierra with 9 points. She was 2 for 4 from the line, hit a tray in the fourth quarter. Alexa Munoz finishing with 5 points. She was 0 for 4 from the line. And Alyssa Rodriguez, second leading scorer with 8, went 1 for 2 from the charity stripe and had a tray. Only 3 scorers getting in the books for the Rams. They were 3 of 10 from the charity stripe for just 30% of this ball game. Had 16 rebounds. The leader was Munoz with 4, and Green had 3. Biggest difference in the game, the turnovers besides the points. 22 turnovers for the Rams. Definitely were having some problems throughout. They were down by 32 points at the half, 44-12.
Yeah, it wasn't a game. Turnovers will just kill you, and more so when you have the amount of turnovers they did. The Hobbs Lady Eagles did what they were supposed to do, and the pressure was absolutely huge.
Hobbs ended up with 3 in double digits in this game. Bryn Hargrove finished with 12 points, and including a bunch of buckets. In fact, she had 3 quarters where she had 2 buckets apiece, so definitely a good job for her as getting a start as a young kid, a freshman out there. Jayla David coming off with 12 points as well, so she definitely with a great second quarter with 6 points there. And 10 for Wisdom Anthony. Tons of free throw opportunities. She went 4 for 6 from the charity stripe. Other scorers are getting close to double digits. Amaya Joseph with 8. 6 of those points in the first quarter. She led with the 7 rebounds on the team as well. Another scorers tonight, Kendall Cunningham with a great game in the post position. 5 points, 1 for 2 free throws, and 4 rebounds. Nakia Mojica had 4 points on a couple of baskets. 2 for Brett Clay and 3 rebounds. And also Araceli Torres finished up with 2 points. And that's the end of your scoring for the Lady Eagles. They had 9 players in the scorebook compared to 3 for the Rams. Hobbs 7 of 13 from the charity stripe, 53%. Their top rebounder, as we mentioned, was Joseph with 7. Cunningham finished up with 4 rebounds and 3 apiece for Anthony, Clay, and David. So Hobbs out rebounding the Rams 28-16. Hobbs finishing with 12 turnovers, the majority of those coming in the late parts of the ball game. Again, they got 22 though against the Rams defensively. So big win for the Lady Eagles to go to 1-0 on the season, a blowout Mercy Roll style.
And they're going to be on the road real soon, heading to Centennial, or playing Arapahoe out of Centennial, Colorado. That'll be in Dallas at the She Got Game Classic. And then their second game will be against Steele High School out of Cibolo, Texas. And then playing Mansfield Timberview out of Arlington, Texas. That's a big tournament there for the Lady Eagles, but they'll be hitting the road next weekend.
And then after that, 3 games at the Santa Fe Capital Tournament, December 9th through 11th. Then at Mayfield and Las Cruces. Finally a home game, Coach, December 17th against Lubbock High. So fans, get your vehicles ready if you're going to go with the Hobbs Lady Eagles on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be a long haul for you for sure. Hey, we thank you for watching and listening today on YouTube.com and HobbsAmerica.com. A big Lady Eagles victory to start the season, and a nice balanced attack for all of us. We really like seeing that. So join us. We're going to be coming to you live on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.com with the Hobbs Eagles taking on the Montwood Rams on the boys' side here in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and throw it back to the station, and then we'll come back with after switching over the equipment to the other game. So thank you for joining us.
in the studio now. Don't end it. Don't end it.
Do you want us to go ahead and set up the phone line?
Yeah, we need to get that done.
All right, making the call now.
Cool 95.7.
All right, that was the phone line hookup. Thank you.
Yep.
What time do you want to go on, Ty? Can you set us up in about 5? TJ, anybody?
We can make 5 work good, guys.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
It's time, Travis.
Thank you.
And guys, when we feed it up to the YouTube and through the Boxcast, be sure you're not quite as loud on that younger channel, please. It was a little loud during the Hobbs game when you guys got excited at Sparrow a little bit.
All right, I cut it down quite a bit more, too.
All right, thank you. guys.
Guys, we've disconnected. Reconnect the tie line. You're on in 10 seconds. Guys, are you there?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Yeah, just playing out. That's fine. All right, guys.
All right, guys, do a level check.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Stand by 10 seconds. And in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome live to Tasker Arena, the time to get ready for a basketball season as the Hobbs Eagles ready to take on El Paso Montwood live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Ty Friend and Coach Brian Coltrane. We've been waiting for this game. Shortened season last year, Coach, but the Hobbs Eagles are ready to take on this El Paso squad.
And they've got a squad that's coming in, has some big bodies in it. They have a big 6'7" post and Jarrett Gazada, and a team that's well coached by former college player Connor Tucker. He was a UTEP player back in the early 2000s, 2011, 2012, and so they're going to have a squad that's going to come in here and try to play a completely different style of basketball than we play for sure.
And such is the case every year when we take on these Texas teams early. They have some games under their belt, already 5 games. The Rams 3-2 on the season. This is the first game for the Hobbs Eagles to try to work the rust off a little bit. Is that a disadvantage for Hobbs?
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is a team that's actually played some of the better teams in El Paso. They took on my alma mater, El Paso Andress. They lost that one 59-38, but they did take on El Dorado twice and picked up wins against them. Lost to El Paso High, and then beat Canutillo, who's one of the bigger schools in the El Paso area now, up-and-coming school. So really 3-2 doesn't say a whole lot. We're going to learn a lot about ourselves tonight because we haven't seen ourselves in action yet.
In fact, last year we only got to play 10 games. We finished 6-4, 2-4 in district, and that kind of a bad taste in the mouth of the Hobbs Eagles. They finished up 3rd in the district, and of course Roswell and Carlsbad got to punch their ticket to the quote tournament. Hobbs had to stay home, and then Carlsbad was out due to COVID. They didn't even get to play their first round game, so they didn't get a chance to add another team. It was too late in the process, so Hobbs didn't get a chance to go on the court and play the postseason last year. And of course Cleveland ended up being the state champs, dominating football, doing the same in basketball. Got a lot of stuff going on, but Coach Reeves has looked at his team. He's got a lot of guys coming back. Aaron Moore especially, saw him in the black and gold scrimmage on Saturday, and that kid is domination. He's definitely going to be a kid to be looking up to. They think he has a chance to be the state player of the year. Didn't really think about college, and then Coach Reeves had a talk with him, and he is really starting to get himself kind of zooming in on that to try to get himself a scholarship.
And he's got that big body. He likes to go down there and bang. He's got a lot of strength for his frame, and he brings so much to the Hobbs game that they need. They need that force down low, and he is definitely that.
And, of course, he has 14 points a game from last year. Not the leading scorer, but still way up there. And 11.2 rebounds, number one in that category. But he's big. You expect him from that. He's not the big, bulky kid that some teams have, but he's a kid that's going to keep going up high and use his height advantage.
Well, he's very strong for the frame that he has. That's the thing is, this is a kid that's used the weight room well, and it shows in his body. He's a very strong kid.
The leading scorer from last year is back, Jalen Gore. He is a senior. Averaged about 17 points a game last year, but also was a leader on assists at 4.4, also leading with steals to a ball game. So this kid is not just one-dimensional. He's doing a lot of other things, and it's taken him a little while to get into that function of helping out in all stat categories.
And it's been noticed. I mean, he just signed himself a deal to play, I believe, for Cameron.
Right.
So I mean, this is a kid who's getting college looks because he does a lot of things in the court that the college coaches like.
Jesus Ramos coming in as a senior this year, averaged 9.1 points a game, the best three-point percentage on the team at 33%. Coaches like those numbers. You get in those mid-30 range, and that's what you want to see. Even if your team shoots 30%, that's adding on to your point production.
Absolutely. I mean, anybody that can go out there and knock down the three is valuable in today's game, especially when you're getting up and down the court as much as Hobbs does.
A couple other guys to mention getting some time tonight. Michael Mackey averaged 6.3 points a game. He will be a starter. 3 rebounds, close to 3 assists a contest, 2.2 steals. Just one of those jack-of-all-trades that kind of scrappy. I don't think he thought he had the best season last year, but he only got 10 games to prove himself.
And, this kid's full of confidence. That's what I love about him. I talked to him before the game, and he looked at me and said, "Oh, Coach, I'm going to give you some things to talk about tonight. I'm going to go out there and play hard."
Quatre Morgan's back as well, close to 7 points a game last year. One of the top rebounders on the team at 5.4, second on the team, and also gets close to 2 steals. That's the one thing about a lot of these Eagles. They're expected to play defense on top of their offensive performances.
Well, you have to play defense. If you don't play defense, you don't play basketball.
So you got Mackey, Ramos, Gore, Morgan, and more to start in this game. So a lot of M's will be on the court. We'll have to work on that with our mouths here in the first game of the season. National Anthem starting here at Tasker. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
You're clear, guys. You're clear, guys.
Yes, sir. 90, please.
Seconds, guys. We'll leave your show, but stay here. Stand by. In 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back live to Task Arena. The Hobbs Eagle fight song is going on across the Eagle band. Taskovich on stage here as usual. Of course, love listening to them during these games. Of course, the Lady Eagles get the big win earlier on our HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube broadcast as a big win for them, Coach. To go 1-0 on the season, 60-22. So Coach Carpenter getting that W he wanted to start with, and Hobbs hoping to add that with the boys here against El Paso Montwood.
Yeah, and they're getting themselves a good squad. I mean, you're watching Montwood throw the balls up over there warming up. That is one big squad right there. It looks like they got quite a few 6-footers on the team. So rebounding may be a big factor in today's game about whether we can handle all those big bodies.
They got a bunch of guys that have scored big for them throughout the season. Ricky Acevedo scored 15 against El Dorado just a couple of games back. Jeremiah Stibe ended up with 12 points in that ball game. Jarrett Quasada had a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds in the game against El Dorado at the El Dorado tournament. And, boy, they play a lot of tournaments in the pre-district schedule there in El Paso, right?
Yeah, they do, and they don't get quite as many. I believe they only get 2 in Texas, but they play a lot more games as far as those tournaments are concerned.
They took 3rd place at the El Paso High School Tournament, beating Canutillo 54-49. Jared Quesada with a double-double in that game, too. He had 10 points and 10 rebounds. So he's the type of kid that likes to fade away a lot and then kind of dish it off the glass into the hole.
Yeah, big 6'7" kid, got big hands, and he's one of their big senior leaders for sure, and we're going to have to handle him down in the post.
Jeremiah Stibe, I was watching him a little bit on Facebook and YouTube, a couple other places as well. He likes to weave dribble, go through with a lot of defenders through the lane. Hobbs had some trouble with defense last year stopping those penetration drives.
Yeah, we're going to have to make sure that somebody comes off the help side to handle that. If you're not getting the help, then people are going to finish and you're going to call for fouls. And it happened quite a bit on us last year. We got into foul trouble quite often.
And that's important that you said that, because I talked to Coach Reeves this past weekend, and he did say he had 3 losses last year where the team got 30-plus fouls, and that gave a lot of free throws to the opponent, and he had to pull back his press a little bit, go into more of a trap situation, which is what he's going to put on the floor this year.
Yeah, and it's fouls are a big factor in the game, because not only do fouls, hurt you because they're scoring points, fouls hurt you because you've got players coming off the floor. And to me, I think that's one of the biggest things in high school ball. Yeah, your first 7 players are really comfortable on the floor, but you start getting 8, 9, 10, those players are the ones that sometimes struggle on the floor, and there's reasons they're not starters. But when your starters start to foul out, those are the people that are out there on the hardwood for you.
Coach, how important will it be to use their post to the advantage of his height under there? Of course, Mora we're talking about. He's definitely a kid that's improved. He's got more height than from last year over the summer, and he's got more of a touch and drive to go to the hoop, I noticed, too. He's got control of the basketball.
I would like to see him, use that control, go right at him. I mean, if we can get their big post into foul trouble, that takes their big man off the floor, and they're going to have a completely different dimension as far as team's concerned.
They are announcing the starters here at Tasker Arena. We'll take a final 30-second break. Get ready for tip-off. Your Hobbs Eagles next here at Tasker. Thank you.
30, please.
Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tana, Jeff,
15.
as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction supports the youth of the game. Lasco Construction supports you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back here at Tasker, the fans are on their feet. They're ready to see their Hobbs Eagles open up the season. As coming to the floor, Michael Mackey, Jesus Ramos, Jalen Gore, Katre Morgan, and Aaron Mora. Guys that all had experience from last year. Getting the starters for El Paso, Montwood, Kevin Melendez, Ricky Acevedo, Ray Jurado, Gabe Gutierrez, and Jarrett Quesada. Again, Eagles with no games under their belt. 3-2 record for El Paso Montwood, as they picked up some wins against Canutillo and El Dorado a couple of times so far this season. Lost to Andrus at the tournaments that they played. The tip into the backcourt for El Paso, picked up by the Eagles. Going to the rack with it as Mackey gets high in the air. They're going to say he came down on the pivot foot, stepped over, and traveled. And the first turnover for the Eagles.
And here comes the Hobbs press right off the bat. Let's see what kind of pressure we put on.
Inbound to the far sideline, picked up by the guard, Acevedo. He's going to dribble up the far sideline from the scores table, cross court left. As coming across is Jurado. Jurado on the near side. He'll dribble to the timeline, and coming out on defense against him is Mackey. Stop and go. Still at the time stripe. The 5-second count is on. Gets to the far sideline. Unloads the basketball to the right corner to Acevedo. Back out to the timeline to Jurado. Turns and faces Mackey. Kicks it to the right wing. Takes a few dribbles. Does Gutierrez. Dumps it in the paint. Fumbled for just a second by Melendez. The ball is loose and stripped away by Mackey for the Eagles for the first El Paso turnover. Comes down the lane, double clutch. Is ripped from behind on a double team. Looked like he got fouled, but no call. The ball's going to come off the green hands of El Paso Montwood.
I really like the aggression on defense that Mackey's showing right there. He's gotten into the grill of the point guard 2 times and ended up with a steal on one of them.
Eagles are inbound to the right corner. Fadeaway jumper for 3. Counted through the hoop on the tray. Jalen Gore starts out the season hot. Eagles up 3-0 early.
Beautiful shot there from the corner. Love the follow through.
Acevedo almost gets it stripped. It is taken away finally by Morgan in the backcourt far side. Hands off to Gore, left wing. His 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Loose at the left wing. And ball's taken away by the Rams. Fumbling the basketball, though, getting away with it. Travels Gutierrez. Sends it across the timeline, right wing to Acevedo. Back to the timeline to Gutierrez. One hands it left wing to Gerardo. Cross court right to Acevedo. Kicks it up top, spinning to try to come back to Quesada. Stolen away by Mora. He'll take it to the rack with a double hand jam. He hangs on the rim and gets the 2 points.
And just like that, Hobbs up 5-0. Pressure's coming.
Already 2 turnovers, and Eagles up big. 6:25 left first quarter. Couple of passes in the backcourt for Gerardo. He's a double team at the timeline. Throws it across to Acevedo on the far side in front of the scorer's table. Back to the timeline, Gerardo. To the top of the arc, pivoting is Gutierrez. Got a bad pass over the head of his teammate going down the right sideline. Out of bounds to the Hobbs Eagle bench on the baseline for turnover number 3.
And pressure up top like that is like poison. You know, it's going to be something that's going to make you make mistakes. Your mind's not clear because you're always handling the pressure.
Mackey will bring it across the white uniforms, black and gold trim. Up top to Mora, top of the arc. Sends it to the left wing. Ramos going to fire a fadeaway 3 left side. No good off the iron. Chasing it down to the near sideline for Montwood is Jarrett Quesada. His first rebound of the game. Cross court right to Acevedo. He'll go one-on-one against Morgan in the front court. Hands off near side to Gerardo. In front of the Taskovich band. Stop and go dribble. Hands it off near side to Acevedo. Bounce pass up top off the leg of Gutierrez. Dribbles behind his back. Stepping out on D is Ramos. Touch pass left wing. Gerardo. He'll drive left baseline. Uses up his dribble on the left block. Sends it back deep to the timeline to Gutierrez. The Hobbs student section chanting defense. Over to Gerardo on the left wing. Stop and go double team. Bounce pass left corner Melendez. Fires a shot from 15 off the rim. No good. Gets his own rebound. Left block. A fadeaway jumper in the middle of the paint is foul as his butt hits the floor, but he gets the count it and the foul.
And that's just one of those unfortunate things. He gets his own offensive rebound, gets us off on our toes, and at that point we can't control our body because we're in the air. He draws the foul.
Boy, Coach Reeves already got 2 subs coming on the court. They have to pull the ball back from the free throw shooter. As stepping up on the court now, Tyler Boxing, his first action, and Darius Royal. And they called that foul against the Hobbs Eagles against Ramos, his first team foul. Shot is up for Melendez off the front of the rim, no good. Ball loose in the deep right corner. Looks like it goes off the hands of Quesada. Good job for Morris to pull away from it so he didn't touch it as well.
And I'll tell you something that I think is going to be happen during this game. Coach Tucker keeps coming out almost to the free throw line, coaching at one point on the floor. I bet you at some point he's going to get called for a technical.
And he's wearing a sweatsuit out there. Boy, you don't see that very often with head coaches. In the front court, spinning with the ball. Gore, top of the circle. Gets a screen from Mora. Backdoor to high lefty layup. Getting fouled. Going up, Darius Royal. Doesn't drop, but he'll get a pair of free throws on it.
And, you know, that was a beautiful little backdoor run. A nice pass. Delivered right in stride. I mean, he got fouled. It was nice to see that basket go, but he is going to get 2 free throws here.
First on Gabe Gutierrez, and good transition game for the Hobbs Eagles. Royal on the line. Did not play on the varsity last year. Some bad, wicked spin on that one as it hits off the back in front of the rim, no good. So Eagles 0 for 1 on the charity stripe. They lead 5-2 with 5:06 left here in the first quarter. Task Arena live. Ty Friend and Coach Brian Coltrane. Second free throw off the front of the rim, back of the rim as well. It's off and pulled down by the big muscle man, Quesada, his second rebound. Throws it across the timeline, far side Acevedo at the time stripe. Kicks it left to Gerardo. Down to the left corner, Melendez going to fire a 3 off the front of the rim. Bounces, ripped down by Mora, his first rebound. And throws it across the timeline to the right block to Royal. Fadeaway jumper in the paint, puts it off the glass and scores. Royal now with 2 points. 3 in the books for the Eagles.
Nice fast breakout there. Getting out in front and running the floor well was Royal.
Their biggest lead is 5, 7-2 with 4:30 left first quarter. Quick passing to the front court, left corner to Gerardo. Drives the lane, hippity hop, bad pass in the paint. Taken away for the Eagles by Gore. Turnover number 4. Up ahead to the right baseline to Royal, but overthrows his teammate out of bounds for turnover number 2.
And, you know, Gore had a 2-on-1 situation there. He tried to get to Royal on the fly early, but unfortunately couldn't get it going.
4:25 left here in the first, 7-2, Eagles by 5. They go up the trap, 1-2-2, full court pressure for the Eagles D as the inbound comes to the near sideline. Getting it and throwing it quickly, Gerardo, the far sideline to Acevedo, back to Gerardo. Back to the yo-yo pass to Acevedo, right side front court, and again to Gerardo on the left wing. Up top to Gutierrez, kicks it to the right wing. Getting a strip for a second, Acevedo recovers against the defense of Box, drives the corner, hands it off to teammate Gutierrez, coming out the paint, fadeaway J from the free throw line and puts it through. So Gutierrez gets on the scoreboard over the outstretched defense, hand in the air that time from Ronnie Ross, who had just checked in.
Takes the score to 7-4.
Just a 3-point lead for the Eagles. In the front court, Morgan drives to the right elbow, pivots, kicks it up top to Ethan Van Landingham, who just checked in. The box right block. It's tied up. Ball ripped out of his hands, though, by Quesada for the steal. That'll be turnover number 3 for the Eagles. To the half court to Melendez to bring it across. Finds teammate Urano right baseline. 15-footer off the back of the rim. Rebound underneath by Melendez, his second. Leans and shoots and is fouled. Van Landingham hipped him hard as he leaned from the right block. He'll get a chance for a couple of free throws. Ball squirted straight up in the air that time.
I like the fact that he's subbing early and often, keeping all those fresh legs out there, really putting a lot of pressure defensively. The recovery's been good. When the backside pass occurs, we're getting there.
You know, when you have Van Landingham out on the court, Coach, he is a football player. Of course, plays a little wide receiver and running back. He's a pretty physical kid, and of course, out of the court, he also has a teammate too, Jordan Chisholm, who led the football team with 4 interceptions this season. So those two guys give you a football combo.
Yeah, and our style of play lends itself well to having football players on the floor.
First free throw good for Melendez, 1 of 2 on the line tonight. He's got 3 points, and he gets 1 more here, and this one is good as well. So 4 for him, and now a sub checks on for the Rams. That's Max Otto seeing his first action. The Eagles now at just a 1-point lead, 7-6. And now coming on the court for the Eagles, running down to the baseline is Michael Mackey in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Gets it into Gore. Gore's going to go one-on-one against Otto in the backcourt. White versus Green. Stop and go to the left elbow. Back into the baseline. Tries to throw it down low off the hands of Morgan. It looked like it might have been touched by the Green as well, as getting a piece of it underneath the hoop was Gutierrez. It goes out on the baseline left side. Hobbs will inbound. It'll be Ronnie Ross to get it in. Left side of the bucket. Inbound to Morgan, right baseline. Slings it to the left wing. Corner shot for Mackey off the side of the rim of 3. Rebound on the right wing. Pulled down by Urano for El Paso Montwood. Dribbles through his legs. Stop and go on the far side. Pushes off against Mackey, but no foul call. Cross court left to Otto. Down to 3 minutes left in the quarter. Kicks up top to a wide open 3-man off the front of the rim. Bounces around, no good. And pulled down by Mora. The shot coming from Acevedo. Second rebound for Mora. Into the front court, left corner to Mackey. Another 3. Rainbow jumper. It's right through the net. Counted. Eagles at their second tray of the ball game.
And Mackey hustling up the court to get that open shot from the corner.
Deflection on the inbound. A steal and a layup on the right side. Gore with a nice finger roll. He's got 5 points. That'll be the 5th turnover for the Rams. It's now 12-6. Eagles doubling up on the Rams. Their biggest lead of the game is 6. 2:28 left first quarter. In the backcourt with a couple of passes. The ball deflected into the hands of Otto on the front side. He'll slow it up. One hands it off to the far sideline to Urano. Back at the timeline. He'll back it out against Morgan. Gets a double screen. Dribbles around the right perimeter. Sends it down right baseline. Acevedo in the paint. Dumps it up top. Wide open is Gutierrez for 3, and it's good. Eagles got caught in the paint that time and leave the man open for a tray. Gutierrez has 5. 12-9. Hobbs by 3 in the front court. Mackey spins on the right wing. Drives to the right elbow. Shot on the way. And good. Right over the top of his defender, Urano. Mackey with 5. He tied Gore now with the top leading scoring with 14-9 score. 1:50 left in the first. Pass to the timeline to Otto. Gets a double team on the far side. Stripped away by Morgan. Turnover number 6. Sends it ahead to Gore on the left baseline. Leads and shoots with 2 hands and scores. The defense leading to the offense, Coach.
And at this point, I think Coach Tucker's over there screaming for his players to calm down, settle in. He may have to get a timeout to talk to him.
Gore has 7 points now. A total of 6 turnovers for the Rams. In the front court, dish off to Gutierrez left wing. Down the left corner to Quesada. Hands off left corner to Urano. Cross court right corner to Acevedo for 3, and he nails it. Swish right through the net that time. So that's going to be a 3 for Acevedo. His first points of the game. Second tray for the Rams. 16-12 Eagles. Into the front court comes Mackey, top of the arc. Man-to-man defense for the green team. Over to Moore on the left wing. Dribbles with his left hand. A runner shot in the way. Rolls around the rim. It comes out at the last second. Rebound by Quesada, his 3rd. An outlet to the near sideline. Slowing it up is Urano. Cross court right to Otto. The trap pressure for the Eagles. Pass over to Urano on the left side. Cross court again to right to Otto. He'll bring it across. He'll send it back to the timeline to Urano. Now in the front court with 40 seconds remaining here in the first. Eagles up by 4. Little touch passing game going on. Give it to Quesada at the free throw line. Almost lost it that time. Sends it to the left wing to Gutierrez. Drives the sideline. Goes baseline. Jump shot from the left block is blocked. And off the hands of Morgan out of bounds. It will be back to El Paso Montwood.
And this is one of those times where you had good rotation and defense got there. You know, it was nice to see somebody come over and help.
Sub coming in for the Eagles on the court will be Mr. Williams will check in as the Eagles will see how he's got to offer. First time as a varsity member, Samaje Williams. One of those aggressive kids out there, likes to play some physical D.
Yeah, good kid, too. Yes sir, no sir kid.
16-12, 4-point Eagle lead. Pass on Montwood inbounds, deep left corner, front court to Acevedo. Back deep to Otto on the timeline. To the near side, dribble. Hands it off to Urano, spins. Tries the left side of the paint, leads and shoots high off the rim. No good. Loose in the paint. Ball at the free throw line, picked up for the Eagles. That's Ramos, sends it ahead, wide open. And the man to get the connection and the score is Gore off the right side layup. He's got 9 points in this first quarter, 18-12, matching the biggest lead of 6. Down to 1 second, half-court shot at the buzzer, left from Urano. Hits the bottom of the left backboard, no good. So the Hobbs Eagles with a 6-point lead, a fast-moving first quarter, 18-12 over El Paso Montwood. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear.
60, please.
All right. $30. 15. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. The Eagles up 18-12. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Hobbs with that 6-point lead over Montwood, and we're ready for second quarter action. And looking at the point production so far in the first quarter, Jalen Gore with 9 points, 5 for Mackey, 2 apiece for Royal and Mora. And on the side of El Paso Montwood, 5 for Gutierrez, 4 for Melendez, and 3 for Acevedo. As we get ready for the second quarter, it'll be El Paso Montwood basketball at the timeline as they get it into Quesada, top of the arc, sends it to the right elbow, shot on the way for Gerardo off the back of the rim. Rebound underneath the hoop for the Eagles by Royal, his first board. Outlet to the near sideline, picked up by Royal. Brings it across down the lane, gets stripped going up high, ripped out of the sky by Gutierrez. In the front court, spin move, throws it back door on the right block to Otto, down the lane to his teammate Urano. Reverse layup left is blocked by Mora, right back to the left corner to Acevedo. Kicks it to the right wing to Otto. Jab step with the dribble going from right to left. Now the near sideline, backs it out to the timeline. Gets a screen from Gutierrez. Stolen away by Jalen Gore. He has a no defense on him as he takes it to the rack on the right side. He's got 11 points to lead the Eagles, double digits.
At that point, it makes it an 8-point lead. Montwood better be careful because if we have a little run here, this can get away from them.
Yeah, it's the biggest lead of the game, 20-12 now. 7 minutes left in the second. Making a three at the right corner, front court, Acevedo. Up top to Urano. He'll back it out. Good pressure defense being applied by Samaje Williams. Over to left wing to Otto. Bounce pass with a one-hander, Quesada at the top of the arc. Over to right wing to Acevedo. He drives the middle of the lane. A high arching rainbow shot at the back of the rim. Tipped up on the backside. It's no good by Quesada. And the Eagles come down with it on the far side on the roll by Samaje Williams, his first board. Throws it across the timeline, right side to Ramos. He'll spot up a 15-footer off the back of the rim. No good off the right side. Otto gets the board and pulls it up and pass off to the timeline to Urano. Coming across the timeline, Urano going to slow it up as he got Ross on him for defense. Bounce pass on the right wing to Quesada. Returns it back deep to Urano. Make that Gutierrez top of the circle to Urano on the right wing. Gets a screen from Quesada. Dribbles through his legs. Back up top to Acevedo. Thought about an NBA three. Now he is going to spot it up. Goes a high one off the back of the rim. Rebound in the middle of the paint by Gutierrez. Kicks it back to the right wing. Driving Urano. Baseline high arching layup. Rolls in and out. No good. Rebound by Jalen Gore. His first. Throws it ahead to a breaking Ramos to the lane. 1-2 step down the paint. Tries to throw up a shot. The Euro step and is fouled going up. Spurts right up in the middle of the air there, but he'll get a few free throws out of it.
Yeah, he's going to get 2 on this one. It was a nice little stutter step. He paused enough just to draw the contact. He almost walked with it before he let go, but he did enough to get the foul there.
That beautiful Euro step, Coach. Should I get rid of that thing in high school basketball or not?
No, I'm not a fan of it. A lot of times it's a walk, and referees sometimes call it and sometimes don't.
You'll take it if the Eagles use it, though, right?
There you go. Absolutely.
Ramos hits the free throw. Eagles 1 of 3 from the line. First point for Jesus Ramos. taking a seat for the Eagles to be Williams. And let's see who came in for him. It looks like checking back is Michael Mackey. Gore stays out on the court, so does Morgan. And, of course, the big man, Mora. Second shot for Ramos is up, and it is good. He got both of them. 2 for 2 on the line, 2 points. He'll get a breather. Checking in for him will be Tyler Box. And really, Mora hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities to score yet, Coach, but he is a presence, and he's going to be on that full-court press as well. He's going to help out the double team and strip of the ball in the deep right corner of the backcourt is Mackey to get the jump ball, which turns into a turnover for El Paso Montwood, as it'll be back for the Eagles on the arrow.
And that was an ill-fated inbounds that brought it into the corner with no help. And you can't really get out of it because you can't dribble and there ain't nowhere to pass.
7 turnover now for Montwood. Box to inbound on the far left sideline. Bounces it in hard towards the timeline, loose for a second, and Gore tried to chase it. Moore had to pick it up to help him and hand it off to Gore at the timeline. Now on the left wing off the dribble, stop and go. Going hard against Melendez, spins it back to the top of the arc. Gets a double screen but doesn't use it. Lost the ball and taken away by Melendez. Turnover number 4 for the Eagles. Stolen back by Gore though. Didn't give up. Scoop shot on the right side of the rim and fouled. Boy, talk about not giving up and giving away a ball, but getting it back and trying to get the points out of it.
And you can see a lot of frustration on the Montwood Rams players' faces. You're seeing a lot of errant pushes and stuff like that after plays. I don't think they like this pressure. They don't feel comfortable with that at all.
That'll be the 3rd team foul as they get Jacob Gaffney, who just checked in with the foul there. And on the line is Gore, who makes his first free throw and has 12 points. And Gore was the best free throw shooter last year at 83%, way ahead of everybody else. So he's definitely going to show his teammates how he can do it.
There you go. And we want to take every one that we can get for sure.
So 12 points for him to lead the Eagles. Second shot's a swish as well. Now make it 13. As coming out will be Jalen Gore, and checking in is that football man with the headband, Van Landingham. Top offensive player for the Hobbs Eagles, one of them at least. He's got the white headband, the black mask. Kind of going with the Hobbs Eagle uniform. On the 1-2-2 full court trap, pass to Urado on the far wing, gets it on the right wing front court to Stibe. Stibe will hold it for a second, zings it back to the timeline to Urado. Stripped by Mackey, loose into the backcourt, picked up by Urado. He's able to track it down. Bounce pass across the stripe to Stibe. And jump stop pass over to Melendez on the left wing. Crossover move going against Mackey. The 5-second count is on. Drives the right side of the lane, gets stripped from behind. Nice help there by Morgan to knock it out on the baseline. Nice help side work there on defense at the free throw strike.
And I tell you what, Mackey is so quick with both his hands and his feet defensively. He is giving them fits up top.
El Paso inbound on the left baseline. They'll get it into the right corner. Acevedo decides not to shoot the 3, zings it behind him to Urado. Drives the right base, stop and go against Box, spins, lost the ball. Box diving on the court for the steal, but then throws it right back to Melendez, so both teams give up the basketball. 3 on the way from the right corner is off the back of the rim by Urado, no good. Mora gets it for a second, but loses the basketball on the turnover. That's number 6. Shot made in the paint off the rim by Acevedo, gets it to drop. That's his 5th point. So that kid will not give up. Acevedo is a small point guard out there, but he continues to crash. At the other end, a pass to Box at the free throw line. Eagles by 10. Dish out to the right wing. 3 on the way for Mackey off the back of the rim. No good. Van Landingham gets the rebound. A fadeaway in the paint. It won't drop. Morgan with the board on the left baseline. Goes up with double hands, leaning towards the rim left side, and is fouled.
And that is just all effort right there. That's basically garbage can play. You get down there and you just basically trying to sweep up the garbage off the rim and find some way to get back up with it.
And the green team is Oscar the Grouch, but it looks like we're the trash people out there. And we'll take that trash junk and put it back in if we need to. 10-point Eagle lead, 24-14. 4:23 left here in the second quarter. Some subs coming in for the Eagles as checking on the court. Ronnie Ross returns. And also Jalen Gore back in the court, deep left corner. Alley-oop down the paint, tip over the front of the rim is no good for Morgan, but Van Landingham is the one that comes up with it on the save. He'll get it out top to Box, fires up a 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, fade away for the Eagles, and that's Jalen Gore wide open. He glasses it home for 2.
Those are effort points right there, working the glass, working the steals, trying to find some way to save it. That's just all Hobbs basketball.
15 points, 2 rebounds for Gore to lead the Eagles. They call a foul on the pressure. Hobbs up by 12, their biggest lead of the contest here in the second quarter. They call the reach foul against the Eagles, and that will go charge to Tyler Box, his first, and the 3rd team foul.
And the sit-down coach chant's coming because Connor Tucker's over there talking to the referee. He's off the baseline halfway up toward the scorer's table. another referee intervene and say, sit down, coach.
And they called the foul on the Eagles, so I'm not sure what he's debating about there. They got the call that they wanted, and he's out 3 feet on the court off the baseline like he's a defender out there.
He was doing that the first quarter, too, and have a feeling there's a technical in his future.
Steve will come down the lane, finds Melendez in the right corner. Air ball 3, Tyler Box underneath the bucket to get the rebound. Outlet to half court on the right side. Ross goes down back door with the pass, and there's Morgan for a lefty layup. So Catre Morgan has his first bucket. The Eagles have extended their lead to 14, the biggest of the ball game. Couple of touchdown lead.
You blink like that, a quick 6-0 run when you're up 8. Now it's 14. It's getting out of control.
Acevedo tries to put it into the free throw line, but over the head of Stibe and take it away for the Eagles. Catre Morgan, turnover number 9. Make it 10. Down the lane comes a pass to Ross. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Put back up off the glass by Morgan on the right side. He is hot right now with 4 points and 2 rebounds and screams to the crowd. He wants their approval. 30-14, the biggest lead is 16 for the Eagles. 3 minutes left here in the second. Pass to the timeline for Montwood. Acevedo, cross court left to the front side. Urado finds his teammate up top as Stibe. Stop and go. Drives the right baseline. Goes high with the shot. Air ball on the right block for the rebound is Morgan, his 3rd rebound. He'll come across the timeline to slow it down for the Eagles. One-hand bounce pass to the right wing to Gore. Gore defended by Acevedo. Top of the arc, gets a screen. Drives the lane. Over to the left corner to Box. Wide open for a tray. Rainbow jumper off the side of the rim. No good. Van Landingham rebounds on the left wing. Gives it back to Gore left side. NBA 3. Nothing but net. Then runs into the referee behind him. Puts it through the hole and signals the crowd that he hit a tray. And a timeout for El Paso Montwood.
And Tucker over there quickly having to get that timeout because just like I said, you blink and it gets out of hand in a hurry. Big 3 right there. And Montwood is reeling.
Jalen Gore, 18 points. As he's got a couple of trays, we'll take a 30-second break. Your Eagles with their biggest lead by 19, 33-14 over El Paso Montwood. Back in half a minute.
Clear.
30, please.
All right. $15. $10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. 33-14. The Eagles up on the Montwood Rams. And here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Well, Coach, so far we've seen kind of a frustrated Coach Tucker. He mentioned he was a former UTEP player. I mean, do coaches get ready for these games at Tasker Arena? Do they psych themselves out for these or what?
You know, I don't think that somebody who's only been coaching a couple of years like this, Coach Tucker probably knew what he was getting into coming here. And it's something you don't really expect, the intensity, unless you're seeing it week to week. And El Paso basketball, you don't see the same kind of crowds. You don't have a band. You don't have bands play. And you certainly don't coach from the baseline. So I'm sure Coach Tucker's getting all sorts of things he's never seen before.
Eagles go with that trap pressure in the backcourt. Ball gets ricocheted to Acevedo on the front side right wing. Cross court left to Ethan Becerra getting his first action. Then right back to the right wing to Acevedo. He'll jump up the sideline, hand it off to Melendez. Drives the paint, stripped away by guess who? Jalen Gore. And that's turnover number 11, and throws it down the lane, laying it up as Ramos on the right side, his 4th point of the ball game. 35-14, Eagles had their biggest lead of 21, and this is their first game of the season. In the front court on the left wing, a bounce pass to Quesada. Up top to Becerra, drives the right lane, stripped away by Box on the steal, another turnover, and ahead to Gore. Left wing, 3 on the way, off the back of the rim high, and pulled down on the right side by Stibe. That'll be Stibe's first rebound, and he hands it off to Becerra, who's going to slow it up in the backcourt, taking on Gore. To the front side, spins and gives it up top to Stibe. To the right wing to Acevedo. Kick up top to Melendez. Spins across against Box, down the paint, tries a reverse layup left. They're going to call a push foul on the drive, not the shot. And that will give it back to El Paso Montwood. It looks like it'll be on the baseline as they call the foul from behind, a reach by... It looks like they'll call that on Box, his 2nd, and the 14th foul against the Eagles. Both teams with 4 fouls.
Doing a great job not actually accumulating as many fouls as we have in the past. We've improved on that this year.
35-14, Hobbs by 21. The bounce pass in the lane is taken away by Tyler Box in transition. Comes down the paint, tries to throw it down the lane, but is tied up, and he hits the floor. No foul call. Does ricochet off of one player, Stibe, for Montwood out of bounds on the right baseline. Hobbs will get underneath their hoop as Box gets a nice standing O from the Hobbs Eagle faithful here. Also leaving with him for a breather is Ronnie Ross. And checking on for Hobbs, Katre Morgan. And also Gilberto Miranda seeing his first action. Inbound inside to Aaron Moore. Goes up strong off the right glass and scores his 4th point. Kind of quiet tonight, but the Eagles got a 23-point lead, Coach.
Yeah, that was a beautifully run inbounds. He was wide open as he took that ball. Easy layup.
Biggest lead of 23 in the ball game. 1:10 left in the first half. In the front court, pass to the right corner to Acevedo. Tries to get up the sideline to Stibe. He has to chase it to the scores table and recovers it. Slowing it up, dribbling through his legs against Morgan. Crossover coming down the paint, gets stripped from behind. Nice double team as Miranda helped to reach the ball, but they call a late whistle coming down the paint. That got Coach Shelby Reeves out of the court for a second. He thought the whistle was a little too late on that one. They called the foul.
Yeah, a lot of contact there, though. It had to be on somebody. There's a lot of physicality on that move.
No free throws, though, as it called against Miranda, his first 15 foul. I don't think anybody's going to get any free throws on the bonus. That time a shot coming down the right baseline off the inbound, leaning towards the hoop, was Acevedo, and a foul on the Eagles. Just as I say that, they're going to the line.
You know, it's funny. I start commenting about how great we've done with the fouls so far this game, and here we commit 3 fouls in about 15 seconds.
So that'll give a 2-shot free throw situation. They call that one on Ramos, his second, 16th foul. And this free throw is off the back of the rim. And the free throw shooter, Acevedo, did a fake before he shot the ball. And good job for Jalen Core playing the referee, telling the refs, hey, you can't do that. You're not allowed to make that fake like that. They didn't call it, but he missed the free throw anyway. Second one's bouncing about 50 times off the back of the rim. No good. But pulled down underneath the hoop by Quasano. That's his 5th rebound. He puts his shoulder down and shuffles the feet on the travel for the turnover.
Yeah, you can tell he's frustrated. He just ran up the court shaking his head.
14 turnovers for the Rams. The Eagles with just 6, and they lead by 23. The big difference in the ball game, turnovers, Coach.
Yeah. Pressure's really settling in on the Montwood Rams. You can see their frustration.
In the front court comes Gore, gets a double screen up top, sends it up top to Moore, who puts out his big wing to pull it down, send it off left wing. Ramos fadeaway 3, no good. Picking up right behind him on the board is Urado for his 2nd rebound. He'll jump into the front court going from right to left. Spins in front of the Taskovich band, top of the circle. Back to the timeline. Ricochet pass to Stibe. He's able to track it down on the backcourt. It came off by Hobbs Eagle, Katre Morgan. Unloads to Becerra on the far right sideline with 18 seconds left in the half, and knocking it out of his hands is Jalen Gore. We know Jalen Gore loves to shoot trays, but this kid's been upping his defense the last season.
I tell you what, this is the best defense I've seen him play, and I'm really impressed how he's moving his feet more. I mean, yeah, he's making plays with his hand. He's punching the ball out, but that's because he's in position now.
And he's got a former college coach, his dad, that watches his every move out there.
Yeah, he does, but he does it in a very laid-back way. He doesn't. He's not one of them yelling, screaming parents in the stands, for sure.
Not the great Santini from movie fame, right? The inbound from Melendez, and the timeline is loose, and Morgan's going to track it down on the near sideline. He ran across the court. Another turnover. That's 15 for the Rams down the lane. The miss by Royal underneath, and a pull down for Melendez on the far sideline for his 3rd rebound, and he gets a bear hug from behind, a foul against the Eagles, and I believe they're going to hit up, is that Darius Royal on that one?
Yeah, that'll put us in a 1-and-1 situation. Montwood's shooting.
So Montwood will get a chance for those 1-and-1 free throws, as you mentioned. They are 4 of 6 from the line. The Eagles have only shot 5 times. They are 2 for 5 for 40%.
Not a lot of free throws here in the first half. It's been a pretty clean game.
Yeah, kind of a track meet situation. 23-point lead for the Eagles, though. 37-14. It seems kind of hard to believe that there's only been 3 scorers for El Paso Montwood so far. 1-on-1 bonus here, and the first free throw is a swish as it's put through by Melendez. He is now 3 of 4 for 75% and 5 points.
He's actually the only player on the floor for the Montwood that scored.
Second shot off the back of the rim. Morgan going up strong for it, ripping his elbows around. That's his 4th board. Throws it hard up ahead to Miranda, but sails through his hands on the baseline. Too hot to handle for the 7th turnover.
Only 2 seconds on the clock here. Let's see if we can take away the chance to shoot.
Yeah, really only supposed to be a tip in underneath 3 seconds. Inbound, it's right to the Eagles. Gore with the 3 at the buzzer, left side. Bounces off the rim and comes off. I thought it was going to go in the air and come back through, but a nice steal to make it the 16th turnover. Boy, I don't remember a game recently. The Eagles have been up by 22 at the half, 37-15.
Yeah, they are absolutely cooking with it. I love the trapping. It's really slowing up the offense and taking away the rhythm and the hustling from the Eagles. really making Montwood frustrated.
So 37-15, your halftime score. The Eagles over El Paso Montwood. We'll be back in 3 minutes on your Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear.
3 minutes, please.
All right.
This week at Thriftway.
2 minutes.
Thank you. Hey, can you cut that down to how much time do you have in the timeout right here?
We got 1 minute 30.
And let's end it after this commercial and bring it back to us if you could.
Okay.
Thank you. Just give me a countdown when you have a chance, please.
15.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back live to Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Eagles leading big over El Paso Montwood 37-15. And we got some special guests in here before we get to our stats here. We got Jeremy Soria, former Hobbs Eagle champion here in New Mexico, and was a coach in Arizona for quite a few years. Came back with the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. And coach, now you're a freshman coach, and got a chance to see you with the black and gold scrimmage this weekend. Welcome back to Hobbs.
Appreciate it. It's beautiful to be home. I'm a Hobbs into the heart, so it's exciting to be back.
Coach, of course, you spent several years at Arizona. What was the name of the school? I know you.
South Mountain High School.
Yeah, that's right, in the Phoenix area, right?
Yes, sir.
You had some success over there. Tell us about that.
When I took over the program, there were 2 and 18. We just built it pretty much the Hobbs Eagle way. That was my motto. The Tasker way was always my motto. They probably know Coach Tasker's name just as well as I do. The way I instilled that work ethic in them. And then by the time we left, we made 2 Final Four runs. Our last 2 years we were picked to win it, but obviously COVID hit, so we weren't able to play my last season there with everybody coming back. So it was tough, but it was an exciting time just to be able to rebuild a program and just see the progression of it.
What is the town like in the Phoenix area?
Oh, it's tough. It's basically like having 5 Hobbs schools in a 5-mile area. Our school had 2,500. 5 miles down the road, another school would have 3,000. So it was just constant competition. The area was just rich in tradition. The area was rich in basketball. So it was tough. It's kind of different. If a kid don't like what you're doing, they can go to the next school. Here, that can't happen.
Plus, you got 2 major Division I colleges
Yes,
and
sir.
the Phoenix Suns there, too.
Yes, sir, and that makes it exciting. That gives the kids, I guess, something kind of to root for, to aspire to be, because they're there all the time. I mean, we did it in Hobbs growing up more through the TV, watching tech games and the NBA games, but us being able to play on them floors, because we used to get a game in at the Suns Arena every year. So that was very exciting, and as a coach, it's exciting. But for your players to see that look in their eye and just them aspiring to be there is an exciting time.
We're talking to Jeremy Soria, former Hobbs Eagle, and of course been in Arizona for quite a few years coaching. And big question in everybody's mind: why coming back to Hobbs?
It was just time. I have 3 kids. They're into basketball heavy, and I kind of always wanted my kids to be a Hobbs Eagle. I was excited. I love what Shelby's doing with the program. When we had a conversation before I did move back, I just told him in any capacity I'd be willing to help. And I just felt like at this time the freshman job was beautiful for me because it's the foundation of the program. And I felt if I can build those young pups up for him, by the time they get up to them, then maybe we can hang some more banners.
Any guys remember you? Or they don't remember you, the kids that you're coaching, but has anybody told them, hey, this kid used to play for the Hobbs Eagles?
They've been told that. The crazy thing, and this is going to make me feel old, is all their parents remember me because they all went to, a lot of them went to school with me. So I'm coaching a lot of the parents I went to school with kids, but it's still an exciting time.
Coach, forgive me for this, but what year did you won the state championship here?
My junior and senior year, so I was 2000, 2001.
Okay,
yes,
so I
sir.
mean, it's been a few years ago, but
just a little bit.
You still remember it?
I mean, I remember like yesterday. Ronald's right here next to me, man. We talk about them days all the time. You just don't get that time back. I mean, no matter what you do, him just getting put in the Hall of Fame, it's crazy. He's still talking about being a Hobbs Eagle, even getting put in the Hall of Fame. So those are just memories that we hold with us for the rest of our lives.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you being up with us
sir.
today.
Thank
We'll get
you.
Ronald in here, too. And, again, good luck to you on the season.
Always great seeing you, my man. Thank you.
Jeremy Sori, of course, former Hobbs Eagle, two-time state champion. And then we got Ronald Ross, of course. We got to get right to business here, Ronald. Of course, you coached, you played professional, done everything else, but you just got put into the Hall of Fame at Texas Tech.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a big blessing, man. First of all, how you doing, Ty? Everything is great. Hello, everyone, Hobbs. But yeah, man, got inducted this past weekend, man. It's an incredible blessing. You know, it was a journey where I was definitely happy to share with people that I played with that got me there. It wasn't something I did alone. So just having people just as hungry as I am allowed me to be able to have that kind of opportunity I had last week.
Well, tell us, what is the process to get into the Hall of Fame? I mean, you don't just automatically get there just because you were a good player, right?
No, you don't just automatically get there. They got a large board of lettermen where they decide, who's candidates for each year. They vote, and then, they, get their final six on who goes in. And luckily, my name was on that list. They voted for me, and, there I was last week getting inducted. And it was just a huge honor and a huge blessing for a school I got so much love for that gave me that opportunity as a walk-on to, become a first-team All-American and do some of the things that I did there.
Coach, or I'd say coach, player, coach, etc.
Oh, it's all good.
Hey,
yeah.
Do you really preach the walk-on story to the kids that you talk to?
No, I don't preach so much the walk-on story. I preach the hunger story. Like, you got to be hungry no matter what you do. Like, is your identity the shoes you're wearing, the label you got as supposed to be a starter or non-starter? I preach the message of you got to go get it. You got to be hungry, and all you got is one day at a time. You don't capitalize on that day, that's on you. Your championship should be within your process, not in a result-driven goal like a game or X amount of points, whatever the case is.
Of course, you probably played for one of the most driven coaches, Bobby Knight. He sat up in this press box watching you several times. I remember sitting there. I was so intimidated. I didn't know what to say. My partner was saying, let's go interview him. I said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that. But I know that was pressure, and you had to earn your way on that team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Had to earn every bit of it. But again, he gave me that opportunity, and, I was just bought into what he told me to do. I knew he was a tough coach, but I knew he was very intelligent, very, very straight to the fundamentals. And what I loved about him the most, if you earned it, he was going to give you that spot. If you didn't earn it, he wasn't going to look bat an eye at you. So I was really lucky to be able to have the opportunity that he gave me and be able to capitalize on it.
Now, the big pressure question, your biggest highlight of the Hobbs Eagle program, can you think of something that you can really remember? I mean, you were part of a lot of big teams over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously that 27-0 year was very special with Kevin Vince and, just all those guys. But, man, just the practices. I was just talking to Coach Jay about it, and I told him, man, like, every day we were going at each other so hard. When we got to them games, it was just like the other teams, they might have been good, but we were so prepared just the way that we push each other in practice on a day in and day out basis that it just made the games a lot fun. It was just almost like a party, like, hey, you worked hard, you work hard. Then you get these games, and it's like, hey, man, here's the party. Let's have a little fun,
Talking to Ronald Ross, of course, just put in the Texas Tech Hall of Fame and a lot of honors overseas, playing pro ball, and, of course, high school action here. What are you doing nowadays?
I have a sales management role out in Dallas, just in the business world. Being a father, training my daughter a lot. She plays on a team called Victory Elite out there, and pretty good team. They're number 8 in the country. And just really been focusing on her career, trying to get her ready for the next thing. But, moving forward, me and my family are considering moving back to Lubbock and back to this area. Just kind of really have that reset to do what's next and just be closer to home. And I really want to do something to impact the community, whether it's here in Hobbs or it's there in Lubbock.
So basketball in the history books for you, or what?
Absolutely not. I'm definitely come back to basketball. I just needed a little time to reset, just after my mother passing and the whole nine, and you just need time to rebuild yourself sometimes. And I've really had that chance to do that there in Dallas with some amazing people, but definitely looking forward to doing some bigger things in the future.
Well, I hate running Ronald Ross out of the booth, but we got the game starting up again. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad we saw you here. I know Adrian was here earlier. I talked to her for a second, but thanks for coming, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Ronald Ross, former Hobbs Eagle, and done a lot of other stuff too. Champion all over the place, Sweet 16, and coached part of the team that got a chance to see him a few years ago when the Texas Tech Red Raiders were making it to the Final 8 there in California. Got to watch him coach in that game. Well, we're back to live action. Took a long halftime with the interviews. Exactly what we wanted to do, get some former greats on the radio. It's the first play for El Paso Montwood, who trails 37-15. Shot from the left corner off the back of the rim, no good. And pulled down by Katre Morgan for his 5th rebound. Goes an alley-oop backdoor and an off-the-glass double clutch for Michael Mackey. He's got 7 points. Eagles were led with Jalen Gore, 18 at the half. Now 7 for Mackey and 5 apiece for Melendez, Acevedo, and Gutierrez for El Paso Montwood. Welcome back, Coach Brian Coltrane. He's looking at me like, hey, do I have a part of this game now? We had to get Ronald on. Come on.
Absolutely.
And Jeremy Soria, too.
Great to see them again, and I mean, just Hobbs royalty right there when it comes to basketball.
Pass down to the left corner for Montwood. Gerardo sends it back deep to the timeline. He'll dribble with the back look to Gutierrez on the half line. Throws it backdoor, high-arching layup for Acevedo to put his 7th point on the glass into the bucket. 39-17 Eagles. Long one to down to Mora. Hook shot in the paint, and he swishes it through effortlessly, Coach.
Well, that's got to be frustrating for Montwood to work so hard to get a basket, and Hobbs comes down and scores in 5 seconds.
So Mora now with 6 points. 41-17 Eagles. At the other end, fadeaway 15-footer on the right side of the back of the rim for Acevedo. Put back up on the left block by Quesada. Late whistle as trying to block him was Mora. And, boy, it took a few seconds. I think Coach Tucker might have helped out on that call.
Yeah, it was physical down there, but Montwood ends up with 2 free throws out of it, and Mora gets a foul.
That's the first of this half in fouls, but only 7 total fouls for the Eagles in the first half, just 4 for El Paso. Kind of a quiet game in the foul situation. Now on the line will be Quesada with his first free throw up and good. That's his first point of the ball game, although he does have 6 rebounds. And now a 4 for 8 on the free throw line for El Paso, 50%.
Very strange-looking free throw. He brings it all the way down, almost to his knees.
That one clinks off the rim. Rebound by Mora. Chase it down the left baseline. That's his 4th board. Up top of the arc, front court to Ramos. Down to the left corner to Gore. Cross court right over to Mackey. Sends it back to Gore. He's going to spot the 3 left corner. It's off the back of the rim. Long rebound on the free throw line by Gutierrez for El Paso Montwood. He'll take a hard dribble against Mackey through the timeline. Unloads to Acevedo on the left wing. Backs out to the timeline with a bounce pass. One-hander to Jurado. Over to the left wing to Gutierrez. Touch pass, left side again to Acevedo. Posting up Quesada on the left block. Fadeaway Jay off the side of the rim, no good. Mora gets it for a second, but stripped out of his hands. It's loose. Picked up and shot from the left block, no good for Jurado. Rebound on the right block for Quesada. He's fouled on a fadeaway. Kind of hard to hear the whistles from up here. Quesada gets a fist bump from his coach. The crowd loves that one, booing him because he thinks he's hot dogging it now, and he'll get a chance for a free throw here.
Yeah, I think the crowd's not liking this too much because he was just throwing bodies around there, and he didn't get called for anything.
Mackey picks up the foul, 2nd on the team. Quesada 1 for 2 on the line. A high one off the front of the rim, no good. And the student section for the Eagles getting back in his head on that one.
And you can tell he's not comfortable shooting free throws. And he brings that ball all the way down to his knees before he brings it up and shoots.
Second shot hard off the back of the rim. Chased down on the far left sideline, though, by Gutierrez, his 4th rebound. Keeps it on the same side left to Acevedo at the scorer's table. Dribbles to the half court, hands off to Jurado. Coming back to get it up top, Gutierrez. Kick it off right wing to Acevedo. Good hands there by Ramos. Gets a piece of it. Driving the right base, Acevedo. Cross court left to Jurado on the 3-point arc. Up top to Quesada. Coming back to get it on the left side is Melendez. Gets a screen for Quesada. Drives the lane. Kick out right wing to Acevedo for 3. And nails over the top of Mackey with his hand up in the air that time.
And Montwood coming out shooting here in the second half, trying to close into this lead, playing a little bit more pace on offense.
Acevedo now with a double-digit 10 points, second tray of the ball game. 41-21, 20-point lead for Hobbs in the front court. Gore gets a screen up top. from Mora. Throws off a pass right wing. Fadeaway three for Ramos off the back of the iron. And Quesada with his 8th rebound. Hobbs not crashing those offensive boards, though, Coach.
And I don't think it's that so much. We're not as patient as we were on offense. We're just settling for shots.
Still a 20-point lead, though. In the front court comes Acevedo on the left wing. Bounce pass up top to Gutierrez. Gives it right back to Acevedo going left to right. Hand off to Melendez coming down the paint. A high arching layup right and scores. Melendez took more to the rack that time. Has 7 points. A little man getting over the big one. Long ball to the other end. Going hard is Mackey. And they call the whistle on the drive as the Eagles lead by 18. And a foul. I don't know if they're going to call this a shooting foul or not. Wait to see here as the referee's trying to get things sorted out. It will be a foul regardless against El Paso Montwood. I believe they say that's on number 1, Kevin Melendez, his first team foul.
And that was all hustle. Mackey just finding a wedge there, is getting ahead of the defense, and all they could do is foul him at the end.
Eagles 4 for 6 on the line at the half, so their first free throw attempt of the second half. Mackey yet to shoot one. First one's up, hard off the back of the rim, no good. He's got 7 points, 18 for Gore, 4 apiece for Ramos, Morgan, and now Mora with 6. Eagles out-rebounded El Paso in the first half, 16-9, up by 7. There was a total of 16 turnovers for El Paso Montwood and just 7 for the Eagles. Second free throw good for Mackey. He's got 8 points. Back to a 19-point lead, Coach. 23 has been the biggest in this ball game.
And, we're starting to wrench up the pressure again. Brought the press back out and extended it. I think we're going to try to go on a run here.
4:35 remaining third quarter. 42-23 Eagles. A steal by Box on the far sideline. That's the 17th turnover, but a bad pass up court by Box is taken away by Melendez for turnover number 8 for the Eagles. Melendez finally gets a scoop pass. Is coming back to it at the half-court line is Jurado. Going against Box. Screen up top from Gutierrez. To the right wing goes Jurado off the dribble. Bounce it up top to Gutierrez. Bounce in the lane. Taken away by Van Landingham. That's another turnover. He comes down the paint, lays it high off the right of the rim, and scores.
I love the extension that he got on the end of that one. That was all beautiful defense and hustle.
He makes a steal on the inbound and gets it down the lane to Box. Back door to Gore, who scores his 20th point. What a beautiful D by Van Landingham, the man with the headband.
We asked for a run, and we got it. Quick 6-0 right after we said it. Man, that Hobbs defense is good.
19 turnovers now for El Paso Montwood. Eagles up by 23. That's the lead it was at the half. 46-23. We're back in 30 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7.
Hello, y'all's tie line is down.
Tie line back on. We needed 30, please.
Okay.
Three, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. 46-23 the score. Hobbs doubling up the Montwood Rams. And here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Well, Coach, a lot of turnovers coming in for this Montwood team. They've got 19. Does the 6th man help out the cause defensively for the Hobbs Eagles?
Oh, absolutely. They raise the energy level, and it's great to have such a crowd that's in it, and you know that they're behind you. You really start to give your best effort even when you're tired.
What about Van Landingham's play on defense?
Oh, just love him diving all over the court. I mean, this kid's willing to sacrifice his body for the team.
And he's an offensive player in football, not the defense. Long pass in for El Paso Montwood. Coming down with it on the left wing front court is Jurado. Back deep to the timeline to Gutierrez. Swings it right to Melendez. Spin and drives the lane. High arching layup on the back of the rim. No good. Rebound on the right block for the Eagles. That's Darius Royal, his second. Up ahead to Box. Jump stop and a shot from the free throw line. No good. Rebound by Royal. He goes down low on the floor. Gets pushed before he can shoot it. And let's see if they're going to call this a jump or a foul that time, as that big kid Quesada pushed his arms forward against Royal. I'm not sure what they got on this.
They called it a jump. Yeah, they're just throwing bodies around over there. But he tied the ball up a little bit. But, man, he got a big push there.
I think that big Quesada might have a couple half an inch or so above Mora. The inbound of the half court, getting knocked to the floor for the Eagles is Gore. Ball's loose in the backcourt. It did get touched by El Paso Montwood. I think we got a foul call here as the green squad was just diving on top of the 3 Eagles in the backcourt.
And Melendez got up hurt there. He's going to have to come out of the game. That's going to hurt them because he's a very sparky point guard for him.
Call the foul on Ray Jurado. That's his second team foul against El Paso Montwood. Both teams with 2 apiece. Eagles have to go the distance with it as the inbound comes to Gore. And boy, the defense just backs out of there for El Paso Montwood. They're in the half court now. It past a box on the left wing, up top, high in the air, pulling it down finally is Gore. Sends it back to box, left wing, a fadeaway three out the front of the rim, no good. Going back up, and then on the left block on the fadeaway is Ross for his first rebound. He gets chested, and they call the foul against two green defenders.
And Montwood switching things up there, right? They went with a 1-3-1 defense. They haven't shown that all game, and wanted to see what our adjustment was going to be to that.
Foul on Acevedo, his first. That's a third team foul. Will put on the line for his first time tonight. Ronnie Ross trying to get in the scorebook and does so at the switch on his first free throw. Eagles are now 6 of 9 in the free throw stripe.
I'd take that any night of the week.
And he'll get one more. Talking to Ronald Ross at the half. Ronnie Ross from the free throw line. Second shot, no good, but pulled down by Box. Sends it back to the top of the arc. That was his second rebound. To the free throw line, shot on the way, no good for Royal, and a rebound for the big man Quesada to get up court. Driving the right side of the lane is Otto. Got it stripped out of his hands as he tried to shoot. Good D by Ross. Chasing it down on the right wing, though, is Gutierrez to recover. Sends it back to the timeline to Urado. Dribbles behind his back, a screen for Quesada to the left corner. Uses up his dribble and sends it high to the timeline. Pulling it down is Gutierrez. To the left elbow, gets away at the push-off. He put a big grip there and pushed off against Ross and returns to the timeline to Urado. Top of the arc to Gutierrez with the pivot, and we got a foul off ball. This might be against El Paso Montwood, shoving on a screen on the near sideline here. Clapping his hands pretty loudly was Ronnie Ross, and we got an off-ball foul going to be called against Montwood.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated because we're forcing them to play at a pace they're not used to. They can't get away from us, and they have to start pushing because they just can't physically get away from us. They use their hands instead of their feet.
So they get the foul call. That against Urado, his second. 14th foul against El Paso Montwood. Checking in for the Eagles on the third quarter action, Samaje Williams. Pass off to the right wing, front court to Morgan. Going to drive the baseline on three defenders. High arching layup. Just kind of shoved it into the hole as he got over the rim that time. Morgan now with 6 points. All him going down the paint. 49-23. Eagles by 26. 2:05 left here in the third. That's their biggest lead of the ball game. Montwood going to throw some perimeter passes down to Acevedo, right corner. Three off the back of the rim. Chasing it down on the far sideline is Williams for his second rebound. He'll go one-on-one against Acevedo in the front court. Cross court left to Mackey. Spin move. Comes down the lane. Shot hard off the side of the rim. No good. Tipped up twice by Morgan. Can't get it to drop. And then Mackey follows him up on the left block. He's fouled going up on the left side.
And that was just effort. Both of them going in there like an energy bunny, staying up on their toes and just keep tipping it until they come up with the rebound.
That's the seventh board for Catre Morgan. Not the tallest guy out there, but he is aggressive. Michael Mackey on the line to shoot the two. He's 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. He's got 8 points. Hobbs up by 26, matching their biggest lead. Here's the free throw. It's off the back of the rim for Mackey.
No, you don't want to see missed free throws. I mean, that's something that can get you into a close game. In a game like this, it's not as important, but we've got to get better at the free throw line.
Second shot here for Mackey. He's had 3 attempts here in the second half and puts that one home. Now 2 for 4 in the game and has a total of 9 points. One away from double digits. Hobbs with their biggest lead at 27. The inbound, errant pass. Doesn't touch anybody. Sails out to the far left sideline, but it'll go back to the Eagles on the baseline. Another turnover in the books. That's 20 now for El Paso Montwood.
When you see turnovers like that are just thrown away without anybody touching it, that tells you that's how frustrated our defense has made them.
Inbounding on the right baseline. Mackey underneath the hoop. Tries to backdoor it and going up high. Leaning towards the hoop. Putting it through the hole. Putting it through there was Ronnie Ross. Actually, no, they're going to say that was stepping up in front of him is Morgan. He's got 8 points, and we got a 5-second violation on the inbound. Talk about a rattle job in the heads of this Rams team, and looks like Coach Tucker just going to his bench and saying, what are we going to do to get back in this one?
Yeah, that is absolutely funny to watch. The coach just kind of throws his hands up with resignation over there.
Student section getting real loud. Let's go Eagles. Inbound up top to Mackey. Over to the right wing. Williams driving the right baseline. He's going to bounce past left block to Mackey. Kicks it out left corner to Ross for 3 off the back of the rim. Ripped down underneath the hoop with 2 hands by Gutierrez for El Paso Montwood, his 5th rebound. Coming to get it on the far left sideline is Urado. Dribbles behind his back, middle of the court to Williams. Going left, right, getting a screen in the backcourt for Gutierrez. Now on the front side comes the dribble of Urado. Right wing, uses it up on the pivot. Tough D by Williams. Almost a 5-second count. Tries to throw it up top. And we're going to have a call underneath by the official. I think there's a push-off from the green team.
And I tell you what, Williams was just absolutely in his grill, and he had nowhere he can go all the way up the court. And nothing he can do, finally just push off and give up.
That's Jared Quesada's second personal and the 16th foul. Eagles one away from the bonus. 58 seconds left, third quarter. Hobbs up by 29. That's their biggest lead. Eagles' first game of the season, 3-2 record for Montwood. Ball gets thrown in the back of the head of Samaje Williams. Wasn't ready for it. Off the throw in from Mackey. Mackey will get it back on the pass in the front court. Double post, or double screen up top, I should say. And a pass down to the right corner for Williams. Returns it up top. Driving hard on the right side of the lane is Royal. A little sidewinder hook and his foul as he goes between two defenders, Gutierrez and Quesada. Might be his back-to-back foul there for the big man.
Yeah, Royal going to the basket hard, got extended, got away from him. About all they can do is grab jersey.
They're going to call that a Gutierrez, his third, 17th foul. It gets the Eagles in the bonus. 41.6 seconds left here in the third. As we wait for the free throws. 2 shots. First one is up, and it is a swish. As putting it through the hole is Darius Royal. He's 1 for 3 on the stripe, has 3 points in his first year as a varsity player for the Eagles. He'll get one more. 30-point lead, the biggest of the ball game. Thanksgiving week live here on Cool 95.7, YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. Second free throw, clapping hard right through the net there for the big man putting it through. And that's Royal now with his 4th point. 2 for 4 on the line. 54-23. 31-point lead, the biggest of the game. 4 away from Mercy Roll. Driving the other end of the lane is Melendez, throwing up a shot, one arm off the back of the rim, no good. Long rebound for Royal. His 4th sends it ahead to a breaking Ross, who lays it in for 2 on the left side. He's got 3 points. Up to a 33-point lead. 1 bucket away from Mercy Roll. 20 seconds left, third quarter. In the backcourt, playing bumper cars, Acevedo going against Mackey. Dribbles all the way to the near right side. Down the right lane. Scoop shot on the way, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound on the left corner is Melendez for his 4th. Dribbles the top of the arc. Sends it down to the right corner to Acevedo. Touch pass, right side again to Melendez. Back deep to the timeline to Urano. And the clock runs out with the defense of Royal. They don't get a shot off, Coach.
Yeah, that's just, they're just so unaware of what's going on. That pressure is just taking them completely out of their game.
Eagles up by 33, their biggest lead of the contest, 56-23. We'll come back in 30 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Clear.
30, please.
Okay. 15. And y'all might want to update the quarter on the scoreboard.
Done.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back, 56-23. The Eagles lead the Montwood Rams. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Hobbs has 1 double-digit score so far. Jalen Gore with 20 points. He has 2 three-pointers, 2 for 2 on the line. Cortre Morgan trying to get his double digits. He's got 8 points. I should mention Michael Mackey, 2 with 9 points. He's a Trey and 2 for 4 free throw shooting. Aaron Mora with 6 points, and on down the list with Ramos 4, Ronnie Ross with 3, 2 for Ethan Van Landingham, and Darius Royal with 4 after those 2 free throws we just had moments ago. Only 1 guy with double digits for Montwood. That's 10 for Ricky Acevedo, 7 for Melendez, and 5 for Gutierrez. Anything that Coach Tucker can do to get back in this one, Coach?
Recruit Shaquille O'Neal.
The inbound stolen away by the Eagles in the backcourt, and that's taken away by Ramos, and the turnovers continue. That's 22 now for El Paso, but a bad pass up court for the Eagles taken away by El Paso Stibe, and now he throws a bad pass into the front court. We got balls being given away both ways. An alley-oop to Mora, misses the dunk, loose on the baseline, and it's saved for El Paso. As pulling it down is Melendez, so turnovers going both ways. Teams trying to get themselves tracked up here in the fourth quarter. Hobbs up 56-23. Coming down the left corner as Acevedo goes baseline, goes to the hole with it, and there's a foul. Looked like he was trying to hand off to Quesada, maybe got him on a shot underneath.
Yeah, he got his step on the pump fake over there. Didn't get the backside help there. They had penned us. He really fouling was about all we could do right there.
Trey Morgan will pick up his first. That's the third team foul against the Eagles here in the second half. So on the line shooting 2 is Ricky Acevedo, 0 for 2 on the stripe. First free throw's up and good. He's got 11 to lead the team. As a squad, they've shot 8 times and have made 4 for 50%. One more shot here for Acevedo. He's got 11, and now it's still going to be 11 as it rolls off the front rim. Rebound underneath by Ramos, his second. Sends it ahead to Gore, drives right baseline, scoop shot high in the air, no good. Put back up on the left block and getting fouled with a push from behind. Morgan with his 8th rebound. He got bodied up by Stibe, chest to back on that one.
And I believe that is their 8th foul here in the second half, and we're shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Stibe put his hands up in the air to the referee that made the call on the baseline. Is like, I didn't do anything wrong, but a major chesting action from behind. First free throw's up and good for Morgan. He's got 9 points. That was his first free throw opportunity. He's also got 8 rebounds, Coach. He's about 2 rebounds and 1 point away from a double-double tonight. Second shot's in and out, no good. I jinxed him on that one underneath the hoop to pull down his Stibe, his second board of the night. Outlet to the far side. Keeping it in the backcourt, though, is Gerardo. Stop and go against Gore. Gore gets a strip, and a late whistle by the official. Ball came out for just a second. They're going to call Gore on the wrist for his first personal. 14th foul against the Eagles. Wait a second.
No, that was a
They
push-off.
called a push-off instead. We'll take that. That's going to be against Gerardo. That's his 3rd personal. Scores table hit their buzzer a couple of times. I'm not sure what that was all about. That's the 9th team foul against El Paso Montwood. That should be a bonus. There we go.
Yeah, it should be free throws, which is why they buzzed.
So I apologize to Jalen with a nice strip there. They're going to say the offensive player pushed off. And they call that one against Gerardo. That's his 3rd.
And it was a loose ball situation, so really technically he wasn't the offensive player there because the ball was loose. I guess they're calling it already a turnover from the steal, so or else he wouldn't be shooting free throws.
They don't need any more turnovers. 24 tonight.
Wow.
Gore hits a hard one off the back of the rim, no good. Chased down in the right corner, though, by Ramos, his 3rd board. Tries to do a hook shot on the right block. It misses out the back of the rim. Fade away on the rebound on the left block by Ross and pulled down underneath by Quesada. 10 rebounds now for the big man. He fumbles the ball in the right corner of the backcourt, picked up by Stibe. Dribbles up the near side, guarded closely by Gore, and outlets it to the far sideline over to Melendez. We got a body foul. The Eagles getting a little bit of a sink down defensively on that full court press. And I think Ramos got the hip action on that one.
Yeah, our energy level just came down just a little bit, so now we're a step slower on the same plays we were making earlier.
Ramos with three personals, 5 team fouls now on the Eagles. 6:44 remaining, and the Eagles up 57-24, up by 33, 1 bucket away from mercy roll. Long, deep pass back to the baseline in the backcourt. Exaka, he just checked in, and it goes off his hands out of bounds. Guess who was in the area? Van Landingham putting a body out there.
And he just throws his hands up in frustration. He wanted a call there because Van Landingham had his hands on him, but he didn't push off, and they didn't get him.
That's 25 turnovers now for El Paso Montwood. Inbound to the free throw line. Good fake, and then a fadeaway for Gore off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound in the middle of the paint for Ross, his 3rd. Sends it down the lane, and Ramos going high with it. Leans up over the top of Stibe, and they call the charge. Stibe was just flat-footed there and takes the blow coming over from Ramos.
Yeah, he did a great job stepping up and taking that charge. That was a classic good defense right there.
So 6 fouls now against the Eagles. And that's the 4th on Ramos. And also the 10th turnover for the Hobbs. Sub coming in now for the Rams. That's Otto as he checks in for Acevedo. They don't really want to keep Acevedo on the bench too long as he's got 11 points to lead the team for Montwood.
Yeah, they don't have very many people that are scoring, but he's one of them that is.
Eagles will have that extended trap situation going on. 3 on the half-court line now. Ball gets loose, and Box dives for it on the far sideline near the scores table. And looks like he's safe at home plate. It looks like it went off him last. So it'll be retained by El Paso Montwood. They still trail by 33 with 6:25 remaining.
Coach Tucker off the bench again. Always has something to say.
Far sideline, Arturo Sanchez to get into the timeline to Ozaka. Going one-on-one against Van Landingham. Going to whistle on the baseline. It looks like Mora and Quesada are going toe-to-toe underneath the 2 big post players. And a lot of pushing and shoving going on. I think they got Mora on the last shove on that one.
Yeah, those are 2 big boys that are trying to make their presence known. A lot of physicality down low.
That should be some free throws going on here. Montwood.
That's the 6th foul.
6. Okay, 6 fouls there. The inbound up top to Stibe. Backs away from Tyler Box, the defender. Crosses through his legs. Comes down the lane with a bicep tuck. Bad throw up in the air. It's air ball pulled down by Mora for his 5th rebound. He comes down the lane, double clutch. Okay, got fouled, no call. Loose and put back up over the top of the rim by Ross, who gets the roll, the bounce, and it finally goes in the hoop. His 4th rebound and 5th point, and a timeout on the court. Eagles up by 35. The mercy roll has been achieved. 5:59 remaining. We're back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear.
30, please.
All right. $15. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. The Taskervich band playing loudly. The fans still on their feet in the student section, and it's a 59-24 lead. The Eagles over the Rams of Montwood. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Yes, the rout is underway. The clock will continue to run here in this 4th quarter as Hobbs up by 35. The mercy roll, Texas doesn't have it, but when they play in New Mexico, they get it fed to them Tasker style. In the front court is Ozaka down the left side of the lane. Lost the ball. Double team from Van Landingham and box on the left base. And we got a bunch of shoving and rolling going on here. Do-si-do action. And I think we have a jump ball before a foul was called. I hope it looked like. Okay, right on top of the basketball. Nope, they're calling the foul. That's going to be some free throws, too.
Should be.
Crowd's not liking that one. I think somebody might have just fouled out. And no, they're not going to say that. The horn sounded for some reason. But Ethan Van Landingham picks up his 2nd. And that will be the 18th foul, and will send Ozaka to the line, getting his first chance for points in this ball game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they saw there. He had it tied up for a good second before they finally blew the whistle, and then they get him with a foul.
So he's going to try to score here for the first time. Down by 35. Not sure. Oh, it's a 1-on-1. That's why the clock's running. Misses off the back of the rim. Long rebound for Box. Touch pass up ahead. That was his 3rd rebound. Finds Ramos left wing. Fires up a 3 and puts it right through the threads. That'll be the 3rd tray of the ball game. He leads the Eagles with 23, Jalen Gore. 62-24. 38-point lead, the biggest of the ball game. Into the front court comes Otto on the left wing. To the corner, spins away against Box. Now on the far sideline. Nobody's getting open. Trying to get open, Quezada backing in. They try a scoop shot coming down the lane. Does Otto off the back of the rim. Long rebound for Morgan. That's his 9th board. Bounce pass to the right block to Ross. Sends it down to the right corner. There is Mr. 3 again. Jalen Gore, back-to-back trays. He's got 26.
And just like that, the lead's 41.
I think it's going to finish a mercy roll. Gore gets a steal on the inbound, lays it in with a scoop shot on the right glass and puts it through again. He's got 8 in the 4th quarter, 28 overall, and Coach Tucker is disgusted and wants the timeout.
Yeah, he's over there on the floor trying to save his troops there because they came out of that timeout hoping to try to at least be competitive, and that's not what they got.
We're going to keep it here at Tasker, 43-point lead for the Hobbs Eagles, the biggest of the night. And coming up on Saturday, Coach, at 2 o'clock start time, the Mojo, Permian High, hosting these Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, Coach Flores and his squad over there been getting better and better. You know, Coach Flores has really got Permian going well, and they're going to be very, very competitive.
Well, the situation with Texas teams, a lot of players that play football have to wait if there's playoffs to get basketball. Do you think it's going to be the same situation this time?
Yeah. And they do share a few players over there. They do have a lot of athletes at Permian.
Of course, afternoon games, as a coach, did you like those on a Saturday?
I don't know. I never really thought about the difference in them. And really, you're just happy to be playing a game, so you don't really overthink it.
Of course, that's a few days after Thanksgiving, so you want to work off some of those calories. But, of course, the Eagles will be practicing before that game as well.
I don't know. I sit down and talk during the game. I'm not working off much of anything.
Should be a fun one, though. 1:45 pregame, tip-off at 2. We'll have that on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, that's video, audio, and, of course, Cool 95.7, the home of the Hobbs Eagles, who lead big right now by 43 points, their biggest lead of the night, 4:12 remaining. Full court pressure is not being let off here. I got a 1-2-2 trap look for the Eagles, and Coach Reeves did mention that. He's going to try to mix it up a little bit. Doesn't want to have games of 30-plus fouls where teams are shooting free throws against him way too often. The inbound comes to the far sideline, getting away with the travel, the double shuffle, Arturo Sanchez. Cross-court right to Stive. Gets tied up by Van Landingham, and that'll be an arrow for the Eagles on the jump ball. Boy, Van Landingham is a one-man wrecking crew. He loves to rip that ball away from people.
Yeah, and the players from Montwood just look up at Coach Tucker like, what do we do?
That's 26 turnovers because the arrow goes to the Eagles on that jump. The clock is running on the near side as Van Landingham gets his inbound swatted and taken away by that guy that just checked in. That's Sanchez for the 11th turnover. Tries to pass to the far sideline. Box diving for it. Goes to the stands. Couldn't get the grip on it. Almost went head first right into the wood there in front of the scorer's table.
And that was just all hustle coming across that floor, trying to take that long pass. He laid out his body. He was willing to sacrifice it for the team.
Subs coming in. Mora's going to check on. So does Mackey. Ramos will remain out there. Staying on the court is Darius Royal. And, of course, the three-point shooter Jalen Gore with 28 points to lead the Eagles. Inbound to the left wing for Montwood. That's Otto. Drives the paint. Kicks it down the left baseline to Cabral. And out to the left wing with a jab step now. Back into his defender, Zagzaka coming down to the free throw line against Royal. And then returns up top to Stibe. To the right wing. Holding it for a second, Zagzaka. To the timeline to Stibe. To the left wing. Hands it off. Hard dribble to the top of the arc for Otto. Underhand pass to the right wing. Underhands it, Ortega does as well to the right corner to Sanchez, and puts a shoulder into Ramos, who gets flat to the floor, and he's stomping off because he knows that's his fifth foul. Looked like he took the worse hit than what he delivered on that one.
Yeah, I don't think he was happy with that call too. He thought he had his feet set when he got ran over.
That's going to be the fifth on Ramos. He'll foul out with 4 points, 2 for 2 free throw shooting. That's the 19th foul against the Eagles. And that will send on the line Arturo Sanchez, actually 8 fouls against Hobbs. So 2 shots here for Sanchez. Actually make it 1-1. Excuse me. Correction there. Thanks, Coach. Free throws off the hard back of the rim. No good. High rebound for Moore. That's his 6th board. Outlet to the near side. To come across with it is Williams. Quick pass down to the right wing to Mackey. Up top, faking a 3 score. Drives to the left side of the wing and throws up a 3 off the side of the rim. And pulled down by Stibe for the Rams. His 3rd rebound. Outlet to the far sideline. Ogzaka in the backcourt. Brings it across against Mackey. Picks it for a second. Dribbles behind his back. Mackey strips it a second time. And it goes out on the far sideline.
Gosh, what quick hands he has. Twice getting stripped, from him. It's just amazing how quick he can get that ball out of there.
Lots more subs checking on the court for the Hobbs Eagles. Seeing his first action. Jordan Chisholm, of course, defense player for the Hobbs Eagle football team. Led the team with 3 interceptions this season. He's got a little size out there. Van Landingham out there as well. Williams continue with Royal. And also checking on, let's see, one more player I'm missing. Trying to figure that out here. Oh, here's number 12 now, Gilberto Miranda. He's had some time in the first half. Eagles up by 43. Pass into the front court for El Paso is Sanchez on the right wing. Slides his feet, no call on that one. Pivots, underhands it to the right corner to Gaffney. Lost the ball for a second. Tries to throw it up the near sideline and knocked out of bounds. Right in the passing lane was Royal to punch it out to the referee on the near side.
And Royal is all energy out there. He's excited.
Waiting for the inbound on the near right sideline is Sanchez to the time stripe. Inbound Ogzaka. Stop and go dribble against Mackey and also helping out double team Williams. Pass to the right elbow to Herrera. Lost the ball for a second. Getting a piece of it is Royal. Picked up again by Herrera on the right elbow. Up top to Ogzaka, down to 28 seconds left. Uses up the dribble. Kick out right to Herrera. Up top of the circle to Sanchez. He's going to hold it for a second, guarded by Miranda. Drives to the right elbow. Down to the right baseline. Driving bases, Ogzaka misses. Put back up on the left block by Gaffney. No good. Pulled down in the middle of the paint by Ogzaka. Kicks it up top. 3 on the way for Sanchez. It's off the mark. And coming down with it on the far right sideline is the man himself, Van Landingham. He gets shoved in the back.
And that'll put him on the line to shoot as the buzzer goes off.
Yeah, they'll let the clock run out. That's the 4th rebound for Van Landingham. They won't let him shoot because the clock is running to the mercy roll. Your final score, 67-24. The Hobbs Eagles get their first win of the season on their first game at Task Arena over El Paso Montwood. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Clear.
3 minutes, please.
Okay. 2 minutes. One minute. $30. $15. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're back live here at Task Arena, the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, YouTube at HobbsAmerica.com. Ty Friend and Coach Brian Coltrane. Eagles with a big win tonight, 67-24. 43-point victory, mercy roll for much of the second half, and nice way to put one in the books here on a Thanksgiving week.
Without a doubt, you wanted to come out your first game and make a statement. Did it against what's a pretty decent team. They played some of the best teams in El Paso and did well against them. It was nice to come out here and get a signature win to start the season.
El Paso Montwood dropping it 3-on-3 on the loss with that first game against the New Mexico squad at least. Let's look at the numbers in this one. Not a lot to speak of in terms of the Rams in this contest. One guy in double figures, that was Ricky Acevedo. He had 11 points and was 1 for 4 from the charity stripe and hit 2 of their 3 3-pointers for the Rams. Kevin Melendez ended up with 7 points. He was 3 for 5, 60% from the line. Gabe Gutierrez had 5 points, including a tray, and Diego Exaca was 1 for 2 on the stripe for 1 point. So only 4 guys getting the scorebook. Definitely a major difference, too, was the turnover situation. They had 26 turnovers, just 11 for the Eagles. That's definitely something that doesn't help out your cause as time goes along here. Rebounds, 19, and really the big man in terms of the boards, actually a little bit more than that. Let me get that. I'll get that updated here in just a minute because I forgot Jared Quesada. He led the team with 10 rebounds, so he's definitely one of their go-to guys. 5 for Gabe Gutierrez, 4 for Kevin Melendez, and 3 for Jeremiah Stibe. I'll get those rebounds updated here in just a second. But still, really not much going on for this big squad that we saw with Jared Quesada. In fact, Quesada ended up with just 1 point and 10 rebounds. He was that big post player that was going toe-to-toe with Aaron Mora. Really wasn't much effective in the offensive side of the game except for boards.
And that was because we boxed him out really well. We didn't let him get any trash points near the basket, and that's what his game is. We did a great job of keeping him away from getting those offensive rebounds and putting them back up.
So they had 29 rebounds instead of 19. Forgot Quesada, so definitely helped out their cause with double digits in that category. Take a look at the Hobbs Eagles in terms of point production in the game. Of course, we mentioned Jalen Gore with the big-time three-point shots that he put down. He had 4 of those tonight. 28 points overall. He was 2 of 3 from the charity stripe as well and had 2 rebounds. And, boy, diving after balls, getting pickpockets all over the place on the sides of the court, really putting up some defensive effort as well.
I think his defensive game has really come on and actually turned into quite a few of his points, too. He got a couple of steals that turned into layups. I think he's realized that if he helps himself on defense, he gets more points as well.
A couple of times he also got steals and went in, laid it up on his own. Sometimes he's taking transition passes, so he's the type of kid that's going to get open wherever he is on the court.
Oh, yeah, and he's got such range. You know, he can cross half court, and you might consider him as open.
Let's kind of hard to believe that he was the only double-digit score tonight, Coach. Guys getting real close, though. Michael Mackey with 9 points. He had a tray in the first half, went 2 for 4 from the line. Katray Morgan had 9 points as well. He was 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. More importantly for Morgan, though, he had 9 rebounds, so he was 1 point and 1 rebound away from a double-double.
And Morgan was so active both on the offensive and defensive ends, and he was in there battling with guys that were a little bit taller than him. Sometimes he was even guarding the big post, the 6'7" post. He was down there trying to block him out and get the rebounds, and did a great job of it. Picking up 9, that's very good.
How about Michael Mackey on the defense of their guards in this one?
My gosh, Michaal Mackey's like a human pickpocket. He's got such quick hands. His feet keeps him right there in front of the player. It was fun to watch him play that aggressive, in-your-face, you're not going by me defense.
Kind of a quiet game for Aaron Mora. Did finish with 6 points and 6 rebounds. And again, didn't have to do a lot of dumping down to him. He had a lot of people crashing the boards in this one. Hobbs out rebounding them 38-29 tonight.
That's great, because that's a pretty good rebounding team that we did it against. And it was a big team and shows that we can rebound against anyone.
5 points for Ronnie Ross coming off the bench. He was 1 of 2 from the charity stripe, had 4 rebounds to his name. Jesus Ramos fouled out in the fourth quarter after a very strong defensive performance. He had 4 points, 2 for 2 from the line. Darius Royal had 4 points in the game, 2 for 4 free throw shooting and 4 rebounds. He was crashing hard as well. A couple other guys on the scoreboard tonight, including Ethan Van Landingham, a very strong defensive standout look tonight. 2 points and 4 rebounds, definitely putting his body on the line. That's all the scoring for the Eagles, although they did have a total of 8 players in the books tonight. Tyler Box didn't score, but he had 3 rebounds. And now all the lights get turned off here at Tasker Arena. Hard to read stats when you have that happen. I guess you get off the old cell phone. There they come back on. Thank you for that. So, again, a total of 8 guys scoring in this one. Eagles out-rebounded them 38-29. The top board man for the Eagles, Katray Morgan with 9, 6 for Aaron Mora. And lots of other guys participating as well. Ross, Van Landingham both getting 4 apiece. Royal with 4, 3 for Tyler Box. Jesus Ramos had 3 rebounds. The big difference in turnovers, too, 26 for Montwood and just 11 for the Eagles. Hobbs shot 10 of 17 from the charity stripe for 58%.
And that's pretty good. I mean, I'll take 65, 66%. May not be as high as we wanted, but, we're getting there. It was pretty close.
Coach, defense tonight, major difference in what we saw last year. Hobbs only playing 10 games last year is actually this year with the spring. But see a lot more tenacity out there. Guys are not just giving up and they make a mistake. They're going after ball. They throw a bad pass, they're going to go get the steal back to get the ball back.
And we're seeing it from more players, which is what I'm impressed with, is that last year you had a couple of players that felt that was their role. And it seems like this year everybody's trying to make it, that's our team identity. And it was really fun to watch. The switching was there. The backside help was coming over, and people weren't making silly fouls by grabbing people when they got beat. They knew the backside help was coming.
Well, Coach, a big win again, 67-24, a 43-point victory, and looking forward to that Saturday afternoon game, a 2 o'clock start, 1:45 pregame show as they travel to Odessa to take on Permian for an afternoon affair.
And that'll be a fun one. Permian will have a good crowd at that game. When you have a game that's on a Saturday like that and everybody can come to it, it's usually a pretty good day.
Yeah, Texas likes to see the Hobbs Eagles. Kind of gets people fired up. That team, Permian, is 4-0 on the season. Beat Midland High 65-43, beat Lubbock 65-26. Lubbock Monterey 78-53. So they've got some big double-digit victories and look like they're scoring between 65 and 75 points a ball game. And also picked off Colleyville Heritage at 55-52 on Monday night for their 4th win in a row. So it looks like they're pretty potent at this point, 4-0 record.
It is. It's a very good, very well-coached team. It's a team that's it's going to come and get after you, and they've got a lot of athletes.
So, final score again tonight, 67-24, as the Eagles win by 43 in a Mercy Row victory over El Paso Montwood. We'd like to thank Nathan back at the station. Coach Brian Coltrane, any last comments for you as we get ready for Thanksgiving on Thursday?
Hey, make sure you eat a lot. Eat some for me.
Ty Friends signing off from Tasker Arena. The Eagles 1-0 on the season, and congratulations also the Hobbs Lady Eagles winning. Also big tonight as well for Coach Carpenter. You got us?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Good night.
No problem.